get right into it. Yo, this is Set with Set and Comedian, man. I'm back with another one for y'all. All right, today we're about to go over the questions the reporters asked of Trump. We're about to get into some lefties losing it, and then I got a surprise banger for y'all. Oh yeah, it's gonna get crazy tonight. Let's get right into it.
But I want to keep the good people.
And now let's get into Trump talking about, well, let's get into how we had a reporter ask a question, how he was melting down about, oh, you're just firing random government employees. No, we're firing employees who we don't know if they were doing any work or not. And now we're about to investigate it. And if we find out they weren't doing any work, they're going to stay fired.
Absolutely. Walk us through the next steps on this. Steel and aluminum tariffs are due to kick in next week on Canada, Mexico, and every other country. Are those going to be modified as well?
No, those are not modified. Those are happening next week. And the big one will be on April 2nd when reciprocal tariffs. So if India or China or any of the countries that really, India is a very high tariff nation. I'll tell you what's a high tariff nation is Canada. Canada charges us 250% for our milk product and other product, and a tremendous tariff on lumber and things as such. And yet we don't need their lumber. We have more lumber than they do. We don't need Canada's lumber. So what I'm doing is I'll be signing an executive order freeing up.
I always did say, though, it's kind of crazy how they act so fake. It's like, come on now. Oh, America, we were your friends. I'm like, bro, then what's up with this trade deal? What's up with that 250% tariff? But we're friends, though.
Our forests so that we're allowed to take down trees and make a lot of money and then reharvest trees. Also, we're cutting fire divides. A fire divide is a 50-yard to 70-yard swath where the trees can't, it's long enough so trees don't burn forever until you can get them out. And those trees can be sold and made a lot of money with. So, but we'll be doing that. We don't need trees from Canada. We don't need cars from Canada. We don't need energy from Canada. We don't need anything from Canada. So where we can be self-sustaining, which is in most things. Look, we have more oil and gas than anybody. Our forests are massive forests. We're just not allowed to use them because of the environmental lunatics that stopped us. So I'm going to be freeing that up very shortly so that we don't have to go to other countries to buy lumber. Why should we be buying lumber from other countries, paying tariffs, paying big prices, extraordinary prices, and we have lumber. We have the best lumber. Go ahead.
And this USMCA exemption that you're essentially announcing today for this 1 month?
It's just a modification, short term, because I didn't want to hurt the American. It would have hurt the American car companies if I did that.
Would you consider the same sort of exemption or pause?
I mean, no, we're not going to consider the same sort of exemption for the other guys because they're not planning on coming over here. I mean, look, we all know that Trump trying to bring car manufacturing back. We've been knew this. So I see why he's like, look, we'll give you guys some time to readjust so you can go ahead and bring your company over here. But but if you don't by this time, you got 90 days to bring y'all asses over here, or you're going to get hit with the same tariffs the rest of these guys going to get. You don't want those problems. Trump.
The auto tariffs you're talking about next month.
We're not looking at that now.
You're not.
No, we're not looking at that. No.
Revoking TPS for the Ukrainians who live here in the U.S.
What about it?
Are you considering revoking the TPS status for the more than 200,000 Ukrainians who live here in the U.S.?
What are you saying?
The Ukrainians that are here in the U.S. They're under a TPS status.
On GPS?
TPS, temporary.
Oh, I thought you said GPS.
TPS.
Yeah.
There was some news saying that they were going to be revoked and they were going to be deported from the country. Are you considering that?
Well, we're not looking to hurt anybody, and we're certainly not looking to hurt them. And I'm looking at that, and there were some people that think that's appropriate, and some people.
Here's a crazy thing: like, when did deportation come such like a violent word? Like, they make deportation sound we're about to torture their ass and then send them back home. No, we're just rounding them up and sending them back. That's it. Y'all making it sound like we're just like taking them out or something, or we're just beating their ass and then like I don't know, locking them up. Like, that's not what deportation is. I don't know why it's so vilified. Because trust me, usually when people get deported, it kind of means that, all right, you was F around in the country and now they want you out. It'd be like, trust me, I got family members who've been deported and you don't see them bitching.
People don't, and I'll be making a decision pretty soon. Okay.
President Trump said.
But we're not
I've
looking
never
there,
seen that.
President Trump said
especially Ukrainians. They've gone through a lot. Yeah, Peter?
the clocks are gonna spring forward on Sunday. When are you going to get rid of daylight savings time?
Okay, are you ready? So this should be the easiest one of all, but it's a 50-50 issue. And if something's a 50-50 issue, it's hard to get excited about it. I assume people would like to have more light later, but some people want to have more light earlier because they don't want to take their kids to school in the dark. And it's a little bit one way, but it's very much a 50-50 issue. And it's something I can do, but a lot of people like it one way, a lot of people like it the other way. It's very even. And usually I find when that's the case, what else do we have to do?
And I gotta ask, because you were talking about this in your joint address, you were talking about Butler. It's been 7 months. Why do you think we don't know more about the guy who shot you in the ear?
Yeah, oh, well, and the second one with all of his cell phones. So
Yeah.
I want to find the answers. I told them.
We know more about the second one than we know about the first one. I mean, Ralph was pretty much like summed up as a Ukraine extremist. He got mad at Trump because Trump didn't want Ukraine, or Trump couldn't just say, oh, we're going to help. We're going to make Ukraine win. Trump wasn't willing to put boots on the ground for Ukraine. That's what Ralph wanted. That's why he went after Trump. Crazy, but I can get that. Thomas Crooks, I don't know what the real motive was. All we know, he's in a BlackRock commercial. I guess that's a bit strange, but that's not enough on its own to pretty much know what's going on here. I mean, MK Ultra, that's now we're going into conspiracy hour. Who knows? Who knows what that kid motive was? But all I know is that he got the easy pass onto that roof.
In fact, today I said, I want to fight. We can no longer blame Biden for that one. He should have released that a long time ago. So they are giving me a report next week sometime.
And shout out to the guys in the chat, man. Happy to see y'all.
I do believe I want to release the report. A lot of people have asked that question. You had one who had 3 apps, 2 of which were foreign, supposedly, and who has the biggest white shoe law firm in Pennsylvania, even though they don't live in necessarily a white shoe area. What's that all about? His law, the law firm. The other one had 7 or 6 cell phones, and I don't have 6 cell phones. And why would somebody have 6 cell phones? So we're going to be releasing.
God damn, what do you got? Like 6 different handlers? Like what? Like, bruh. And then here's the thing: if you're out here trying to, assassinate the president, you would think you'd want to have damn near honestly no electric devices on you. It should be common knowledge that if you're going to go do a crime, you do not want to take this with you, right? I'm not out here giving advice or anything, but I feel like that's just common sense. And if it's not, then man, you need to look up that boy YNW Melly and figure out why you probably shouldn't do some dumb stuff like that.
You'll report on that soon, Peter.
But based on what you're saying right there, the lack of information and the data points that you just gave, does that make you think that there's some there's some bigger?
It could be. Well, it makes other people think that. It makes me think it a little bit too. I say, when you have 3 apps and 2 of them are foreign, and you had an FBI that wouldn't report on it, they didn't want to say why, I would say that could be suspicious. And then on the second assassin, you had, and by the way, I have to tell you, Secret Service did a great job on that by spotting him. But on the second one, he had 6 cell phones. That's a lot of cell phones. Bruh. And a couple of them had some strange markings on them. So, yeah, I want to find out, and I would be willing to release it. Maybe there's a reason that we shouldn't, so I don't want to get too far ahead of my skis, but yeah, I would be very willing to release.
I cannot think of any reason why we shouldn't release the full details of Thomas Crook. The full investigation, I see no reason. It's almost like the Kennedy thing. Come on now. Or the Epstein files. Like, come on, bro. Just tell us what it is, bro. Just go ahead and tell us what it is. Like, look, man, like if we tell y'all what it is, there's going to be an uproar. Y'all can't handle the truth. I'd rather y'all just hit us with that so we kind of can come to our own conclusion of what is going on. Like, don't lie to us.
I'd like
at least tell us that we can't handle it.
President,
Not only you, I want to see that one myself.
Mr. President,
May I?
Yes.
President Macron yesterday said that France was ready to offer its nuclear protection to other European countries. What do you make of it? And in this case, would the US also maintain a nuclear umbrella for European countries?
Well, France is also willing to put soldiers into Ukraine for safety reasons if we can get it. I will say that we've made a lot of progress with Ukraine and a lot of progress with Russia over the last couple of days. And it'd be great to bring that to an end so we don't have to talk that way about nuclear. It'd be great if everybody would get rid of their nuclear weapons. You know, we have Russia and us have by far the most. China will have an equal amount within 4 or 5 years. And it would be great if we could all denuclearize, because the power of nuclear weapons is crazy. It is crazy. And, you know, I was very far along a process with Russia, despite the Russia hoax, which didn't make it easy. It was a total hoax, a total rigged hoax by some bad people. But despite that, I was very close to having a program with Russia, denuclearization, and we're going to get China. I spoke to President Xi about it, and he would have been very happy to have gone along with it. But bad things happened, like an election that was rigged happened. And so we had to come back 4 years later. But
And shout out to my man James Foley coming in with the 10. He says, song in Discord, play it easy before the stream gets more people and we lose half the views. Now, James, what in God's name did you send us for you to say that?
I would very much like to start those talks. The opposite of what you say, the denuclearization would be incredible.
Mr. President,
on the auto tariffs that you were talking about, I know yesterday you spoke with the big three. Did you tell them that no more exemptions were on the way, and what was the reaction?
I told them.
Hey, you know, it's actually funny though. I am okay with it. You know, everybody just disarming nukes. Maybe we could focus more on nuclear power. We can, you know, kind of re-engineer them towards that. That's great. But also, it kind of doesn't take away from our military might. I mean, we're still going to be the strongest military in the world without nukes. Without the nukes. Remember that. All right, let's go.
That's it. This was a short-term deal. And they came back to me yesterday. They said, could we have some help on the tariffs because of the speed? And I said, look, I'm going to do it, but that's it. Don't come back to me after the April 2nd. I don't want to hear from you after April 2nd. We're not going to be doing it anymore. I want to help them.
What was the response?
They didn't complain, but I helped them short-term during this short-term transition. April 2nd is going to be a very big day for America.
Mr. President,
My understanding is that the longstanding U.S. policy is that we do not negotiate with terrorists. So how did you come to the decision to send somebody from your team to negotiate with Hamas?
I guess this is the type of time we're on tonight. All right then. Say less. Like, shoot. All right, forget it. He says, Hellbat, and shout out Hellbat, by the way. He says, fuck it. Just play the Asian People song by Z-Flow Plus. What's up? Hey, man, what's up, my brother? What is up? And what's up to the rest of y'all? And guys, come on now. Let's not do that. And I appreciate y'all.
We are having discussions with Hamas. We are helping Israel in those discussions because we're talking about Israeli hostages. And we're not doing anything in terms of Hamas. We're not giving cash. We're not giving $6 billion like you hear other administrations give. In fact, I got 59 hostages out. We gave nothing. In 59, we gave nothing, not including what's going on with Hamas. I mean, I consider that something where we're helping Israel for the most part. We had a couple of hostages, as you know. We got a couple of hostages out, American hostages.
Mr. President.
But certainly, Peter, you have to negotiate. There's a difference between negotiating and paying. We want to get these people out. If you would have seen the people yesterday, maybe you did, I don't know. But if you would have seen them, the way they spoke about their captivity, it was unbelievable. It's terrible.
Are you thinking about making any changes to NATO where a NATO country gets attacked, but they're not paying enough dues, so the United States doesn't defend them?
Yeah.
Well, I've said that to them. I said, if you're not going to pay, we're not going to defend. I said that 7 years ago. And because of that, they paid hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, if you're not going to pay your bills, we're not.
Actually, what kind of pisses me off about like the Trump administration, and it's in a good way too, it's in a good way, but it still pisses me off. It's like, hold on, all these presidents had to do for all this time to make sure that America was in a better position was to make these people pay their bills, was to stop letting people, like, you know, I ain't gonna lie, take advantage of us in trade. Like, bro, take advantage of us in these military alliances where we're footing most of the bill. That's all we had to do. It was just a simple turnaround to the weaker nations and saying, hey, yo, step y'all shit up. That's all we had to do. That's why the Trump administration is just low key, like, it was like a mind fuck. It was like, bro, it's such simple solutions. Such simple solutions for complicated problems.
Not going to defend you. And it also went for the attack. But if they got attacked, they said, well, does that mean you won't defend us? I said, are you current or are you delinquent? They said, if we were delinquent, would you? I said, nope, I would not. And because of that, as you know, hundreds of billions of dollars came into NATO. You wouldn't have NATO right now if I weren't there. And your previous Secretary General has said that. He said he's never seen anything like it. When I came to NATO, when I first had my first meeting, I noticed that people weren't paying their bills at all. And I said I should wait till my second meeting, and I did. And I brought that up. And I said, if you don't pay your bills, we're not going to participate. We're not going to protect you. And when I said that, as soon as I said that, it was amazing how the money came in. The money came in, and now they have money. But even now, it's not enough. It's really not enough. They should be paying more.
Mr. President, question on the investment, sir. You've overseen about $2 trillion worth of domestic private sector investments come in just about 2 months. This is the newest one. It comes after your announcement of a new shipbuilding office at the White House during your joint session to Congress. Can you talk about why this is important, not only for national security, but to continue the renaissance of domestic manufacturing?
Well, we have to maintain a strong country. We have to maintain, we want to pay off debt. We have a lot of debt, but that'll start coming off quickly when this all comes around. Look, we've been supporting the whole world. You mentioned NATO and you mentioned other things. We've been supporting the whole world. When I first came in, we were paying almost 100% of NATO. NATO it was crazy. We were supporting NATO. We were paying the bills for other countries. And yet those same countries, mostly European, the European countries were ripping us off in trade. They won't take our cars. They wouldn't take our agricultural product. They wouldn't take anything. Yet we were taking their cars by the millions, Mercedes and BMW and Volkswagen, all of them. We were taking their cars, they weren't taking it. We were taking their farm products, they weren't taking it. It's a total ripoff. And yet we were protecting them by giving them the money. And that adds up to a bad number at the end of a lot of years. And
Sure, I'll tell you what it doesn't add up to: a surplus. I'll tell you what it did add up to: a deficit.
that's what happened. And now it's time for this country to stop being ripped off. I had that done very much in the first administration, but then we had to focus on other things at the very end.
And shout out to my man Castro. He says, cause it ain't nothing but a thing, man. Let's hit some goals. And I appreciate the support, guys, man. Let's keep it going. And don't worry, I have not forgot about the song suggestions, especially by my man James. I got y'all.
End with COVID. And but we had the greatest economy in history. I think we're going to redo it here, but even better. And I wanted to do what we're doing now in the first term, but we had so many other things to do. We had to fix the border, which we did. We had to fix our military. We rebuilt our military. We completely rebuilt the military, only to watch Biden give so much of it away to Afghanistan, if you can believe it. It's not even believable. It's not even believable what he did. The damage that man did or that administration did to this country is frankly not even believable. And in particular, allowing millions and millions of people to come into our country. Many of them were murderers and drug dealers and gang members and people from prison for very heinous crimes. For him to allow those people into our country, and now we're spending tremendous amounts of time and effort, Nikki and
I mean, bro, tremendous amount of time, effort, and money. Yes. I mean, the Democrats weren't wrong when they said this is going to cost us some money. But, you know, like I said, how dare they talk about how much money this is costing when they're the ones who made the problem? I mean, if we got to spend $88 billion to make the people safe, I mean, it is what it is. But let's not ever forget who's making us spend this $88 billion. Democrats, Biden.
Tom Homan, who's doing an unbelievable job, but we shouldn't have to be spending anything on that. We had the safest border ever. Now we have actually, as you saw, the numbers just came out, where we have.
Bro, he's like, what y'all want? A call in? Ah, crap. He's like, shout out Big Wave Dave. And shout out to the baller alerts on all sides, man. Shout out to the baller alerts on all sides. The Big Wave Dave said, man, what y'all want? A call in? I mean, it could always be that show. It could always be that type of show, guys. It'd always be that type of show. But first, let's get to the first musical interlude, man. Shout out to my man, James Foley. Bro, you get 3 minutes. What the hell? All right. I said you get 3 minutes. I said you get 3 minutes. Those for y'all who are feeling it, I guess we'll come back to it later. But right after I get done with the rest of them. All right, let's go.
Actually, the lowest numbers in the history of our country.
Oh,
but we shouldn't have had to do that. What we're doing now is we're looking for murderers. Can you believe it? We're looking for.
But first, I'd like to come to a nice moment of kumbaya. He's like, look, I'll even do this. I was partly wrong about the musket thing, but that doesn't give Dave the right to question my military record in public. All right. Well, that's a conversation probably safe for the call in, and I don't know. That's for you and Dave. I'll give it to y'all. I'll give that one to y'all guys. I'll leave that between men.
Murderers, because thousands of murderers, some about 50% killed more than one person.
But calling open.
One killed 5 or 7. And we're looking for those people right now. We shouldn't have to be looking for
President Trump, on Peter's question, are you going to make that policy, U.S. policy, that the U.S. wouldn't defend NATO countries that don't pay?
Well, I think it's common sense, right? If they don't pay, I'm not going to defend them. No, I'm not going to defend them. I got into a lot of heat when I said that. You said, oh, he's violating NATO. And, you know, the biggest problem I have with NATO, I really, you know, I mean, I know the guys very well. They're friends of mine. But if the United States was in trouble and we called them, we said, we got a problem. France, we got a problem. A couple of others I won't mention. Do you think they're going to come and protect us? They're supposed to. I'm not so sure.
So
you know, with Japan, we have a deal, which is a very interesting one. And I love Japan. We have a great relationship with Japan, but we have an interesting deal with Japan.
Oh God, especially if you watch anime. If you watch anime, trust me, we all have a great relationship with Japan. We all.
Japan, that we have to protect them,
you know, and if you like,
but they don't have to protect us. You know that?
Right.
That's the way the deal reads. We have to protect Japan. And by the way, they make a fortune with us economically.
I mean, yeah, what you mean? We paying for their protection. They ain't got to pay for their own protection. So, bro, we paying for Canada and Japan to be protected? Yeah, that don't just sit right with me. And if that's the case, I mean, nah. Yeah, that just don't sit right. That don't sit right. They just need to go ahead and start paying us for their protection, or give us more favorable trade deals. I mean, hey, cool. We'll pay for your protection if it's that dire, but y'all better give us some favorable business deals. That's all I'm saying.
It's another case, but we have to protect Japan.
Hey, can I eat too?
But under no circumstances do they have to protect us. I actually asked, who makes these deals? Yeah, Peter?
Well, so why stay in NATO at all?
I view NATO as potentially good, but you gotta get some good thinking in NATO. It's very unfair what's been happening. Until I came along, we were paying close to 100% of NATO. So think of it. We're paying 100% of their military, and they're screwing us on trade.
And when Zelensky inevitably comes back to the White House, what do you expect from him? And do you think you'll see him in a necktie?
Well, I think what's going to happen is Ukraine wants to make a deal because I don't think they have a choice. I also think that Russia wants to make a deal because in a different way that only I know, they have no choice either.
Are you still thinking of going to Saudi Arabia and meeting with Putin about this?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I'm going to Saudi Arabia.
Mr. President.
They've been very, I've made a deal with Saudi Arabia because normally you'd go to UK first. And last time I went to Saudi Arabia, they put up $450 billion. You know that, right?
Yeah, I love it.
You were there. We had American companies that took in 450 billion. I said, well, this time they've gotten richer. We've all gotten older. So I said, I'll go if you pay $1 trillion to American companies, meaning the purchase over a 4-year period of $1 trillion. And they've agreed to do that. So I'm going to be going there, and I have a great relationship with them. And they've been very nice, but they're going to be spending.
Yeah, I'll be going there too. I'm like, boy, hold on, I'm trying to secure this trillion. I'm like, boy, nah, this ain't no billions of dollars. No, this is $1 trillion I'm trying to secure. Trust me, I'm pulling up too. Dude, you tell me, bro. Oh man, hey, I love it. I love it. He said, trust me, we gonna make sure we get all that $1 trillion into every business. He gonna make sure it's accounted for.
Spending a lot of money to American companies for buying military equipment and a lot of other things.
But I'm curious in which American companies. That's what's I'm drawing the blank at. I'm like, well, which American companies in Saudi Arabia are we just gonna be investing billions upon billions of dollars into?
Is that a trip in the near future?
Probably over the next month and a half. Yes.
Mr. President, you told us a couple of weeks ago that you were looking to speak with President Xi of China. That hasn't happened. How come? What are you
Well, I
waiting
have
for?
spoken to him, yeah.
Since that last phone call?
I don't want to say that, but I have spoken to him. Yeah, please.
Yeah, Mr. President,
I have a great relationship with President Xi.
But you've spoken to him.
It was hurt because of COVID.
Thank you, Mr.
That's why I don't call it the China virus anymore. He said, please don't call it the China virus.
But to be clear, you've spoken to him since January 17th?
I don't want to say that, but I have spoken to him.
Thank you,
And
Mr. President.
I speak to him a lot.
Regarding this executive order you signed revoking security clearances at Perkins Coie, do you think there should be more steps like this to be taken against other people involved in the Russia collusion?
I do, but that's going to be up ultimately to the Attorney General and various other people.
Absolutely. Just as a follow-up, the other night, we saw Democrats' behavior during your joint address to Congress.
Yeah.
Do you think it shows just how out of touch they are with the American people, especially given that 79%, according to a CBS poll, approved of your
I love this guy. Who are you with?
My name's Nick Gilbertson with Breitbart News.
I see. I really like your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr.
So regarding the executive order.
The answer is just, Nick, and I know your name very well. Good job, you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, the answer is I thought it was very embarrassing for the Democrats what happened the other night. And that's not said for any other reason other than it's obvious, it's fact. Even CNN fake news said that. They came out and they said it. And worse than CNN is MSDNC, which is the worst. And the good news is very few people watch them anymore. They have lost such credibility. And frankly, what Nicole Wallace said, I've never been a fan.
Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow. I mean, bro, the most deranged two of the most deranged women on television. I mean, there's some others we can throw in there, but those two, man, hey, it's top of the line. They're top of the line with their TDS.
And of hers.
I give it to her.
And she's not very talented. But I'll tell you what she said the other day about that young man is disgraceful. She should be forced to resign. And Rachel Maddow should be forced to resign. Nobody watches her anyway. I don't know if it's not possible they pay her as much money as I hear, but certainly she's lost all credibility, both of them. But what they said the other day, they should be forced to resign about that young person who is suffering greatly. Thank you, Nick.
Will you extend, if a TikTok deal is not made on the timeline you gave, will you extend that?
Probably. Yeah.
You will. Okay.
Yeah, I think, look, we have a lot of interest in TikTok.
I don't know about that. Now, look, I think he should hardline that TikTok thing. If they ain't done nothing yet, then I don't move for them, because then we gonna keep moving for them. It's like, I get it. A lot of the American economy kind of hinges on it. A lot of people just now start making money on TikTok. I get it. But there's no reason why we should be bending our knee to them. If we gave them 90 days, if they're gonna make this sale, hey, if they don't do it, cut them off. If they do, hey, they still rate. I'm sorry, but they still maintain access to the American economy.
And China is going to play a role. And so hopefully China will approve of the deal, but they're going to play a role. But we have a lot of interest in TikTok.
How long would you extend it and how close are you to it?
Well, we'll see. But if I need, I don't, right now we have at least another month, so we don't need an extension. But if I needed an extension, I'd probably get it extended. Yeah,
Mr. President, regarding the executive orders, there was talk that you might sign one winding down the education department,
which department?
the education department. Are you having second thoughts on that?
No. I want to bring the schools. I want to bring the schools back to the states. And I've said it 100 times. We're ranked at the bottom of the list, and yet we spend more. We're ranked number one for cost per student. We're ranked at the bottom of the list in education. And I know if I bring it back to Iowa, Indiana, Idaho, all these great states, I think I could say 40 states. I want to bring it back. 10 states won't be perfect. 5 states will be probably not so good, but they will be every bit as good as Norway and Denmark and Sweden and all of the states that are rated at the top. If you tell me about Indiana and some of these great states that run really well, Iowa, you tell me about those states, and if they
shout out Indiana. Hey, shout out Fox Chase. Y'all school system looking pretty good right now.
run their own education, they're going to do a lot better than somebody sitting in Washington, D.C. that couldn't care less about the pupils out in the Midwest.
When do you think you sign that? When would you sign that order?
Well, I want to just do it. I mean, we're starting the process. We're trying to get the schools back into the states. Let the states run the schools. And I'll tell you, you'll see something, it's gonna blow your mind. It'll be run so well. The school system. And I also believe in school choice, but that will take care of itself.
A follow-up to that, Mr. President, if the education department were eliminated, how would you see sort of what department, what agency would handle student loans and the other types of federal
That would
grants?
be brought in, that would be brought into either Treasury or Small Business Administration or Commerce. And we've actually had that discussion today. I don't think the education should be handling the loans. That's not their business. I think
especially when you can't use a loan for nothing else but education. Like you only go into serious debt for education, not for no business. I mean, no investment, man. You can't no stock market, nothing. All you can do is just get that degree. And if it's not a good degree, well, you kind of just wasted your money, or went into debt for no reason. Be like that.
It'll be brought into small business, maybe. Kelly really liked it and really would like to do it. So the loans would be brought into a group where they really do that. And I think that is, by the way, the most complicated thing in moving, but it's very simple if you do that.
And the same for like federal
Our
grants.
country rejected your plan to move out more than 2 million people out of Gaza. What's your reaction to that and to Egypt's plan and to this meeting that happened?
Out of Gaza?
Yeah.
I think that Gaza is a mess, and I think that Gaza could be good. I think it's got to be run properly. But right now, Gaza is an absolute mess, and it has been for many, many years and decades. Yeah, Peter, did you have one more?
I did, yeah. They have these 2 Starliner astronauts stuck in space for 8 months. Have you spoken to them?
They left them alone. Biden left them up there.
And what do you know about that?
I know everything about it. I said, we have 2 astronauts that are stuck in space. I have asked Elon, I said, do me a favor. Can you get him out? He said, yes, he is preparing to go up, I think, in 2 weeks.
What do you know about how this went down? Because he's saying that the Biden White House was offered some kind of SpaceX rocket to go get these guys, and they said no.
That's what I heard. I can't tell you that, but that's what I heard. But Biden was embarrassed by.
Yeah, let's be real though. It is their faulty equipment that got their own people stuck up there for so for some other space company to come by and be like, hey, yo, I'll fix your fuck up. It's a crazy slap in the face. Man, Elon really just smacked their ass in the face. Be like, it's okay, smack. I'll go ahead and help y'all out, save y'all employees for you because I make good rockets. Y'all make mediocre ones. And you see what happens when you make mediocre ones? You keep your people up there in space, to the detriment of their health.
By what happened, And he said, leave them up there. I would have said, if you're embarrassed, you got to get them out.
Yeah.
Elon is right now preparing a ship to go up and get them.
I'm sure that they will see this in space. What is your message to
So
us?
we love you and we're coming up to get you, and you shouldn't have been up there so long. The most incompetent president in our history has allowed that to happen to you. But this president won't let it happen. We're going to get them out. We're coming up to get you. I've authorized Elon. I said, can you get them out? Because, you know, they've been left up there. I hope they like each other, but maybe they'll love each other. I don't know. But they've been left up there. Think of it. And I see the woman with the wild hair, good solid head of hair she's got. There's no kidding. There's no games with her hair. But, and you know, there's a danger up there too. They can have some failures up there that would be very bad. You got to get them out. So I've authorized Elon a week ago. I said, you know, we have two people up there that Biden and Kamala left up there, and he knows it very
well. Biden and Kamala was leaving people in Russia. Boy, they were leaving people in space.
Bruh.
Shit. The only thing they didn't leave behind was, well, shoot, them tax dollars that they needed.
well. I said, are you equipped to get him? He said, yeah, he's got a
Hey, man.
Starship.
I mean, shoot, they were leaving behind Americans, but they did not leave behind a penny.
And they're preparing it right now. And so Elon is going to go up and get him. Should I go on that journey just to be on the ship when we stop? What do
If
you?
that's an option, yes.
I should do it. Oh, that's terrible. I thought he liked me. I thought he liked me. I thought, Maria, should I do it?
Well, you should then
Stay
come,
here.
Maria likes me better. She's,
President Trump, you should then come back from space.
well, oh, when they come back, I'll greet them. How about that?
Mr. President.
No, we're going to get them out. I've authorized Elon Musk to go and get them, and he's prepared to do so.
Mr. President, what are you making of the market sell-off this week?
I think it's just, I think it's globalists that see how rich our country is going to be, and they don't like it. You know, it's a big market out there. But again, they've been ripping off this country for years, and now, and they're going to do great. Everyone's going to do great, but we can't let this continue to happen to America. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country any longer. Thank you very much, everybody.
And all righty. Now, we're going to get into some lefties losing it. And then next, we're going to get to, well, midway through it, we're going to get to Hellbat's music suggestions. So shout out to my man, Hellbat. And, you know, hey, if you're one of those people who get offended by racism easily, boy, you might as well, like, go ahead and slide out in the next about 13 minutes.
Good evening and welcome to a program devoted entirely to lefties losing it. Let's start with a couple of Democrat operatives embarrassing themselves with their Trump delusions. Here's the diabolical Alexander Vindman saying that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump should apologize to Zelensky. He demands it.
The current leader of this
J.D. Vance owns
But let me
Zelensky an
finish.
apology.
Huh?
President Trump owes Zelensky an apology for the way he was treated.
For what?
I demand it.
What?
I demand that they give
Oh,
him
you
apology.
miss. Okay,
Nope.
He demands it.
I demand it. Now, bro, who is he? Who is he? This man literally sat there and said, yes, he owes Zelensky an apology. Like, bro, he damn near said like he was programmed to do it. Yes, he owes him. I demand it. I'm like, bro, are you okay? It sounds like you're running off a program or something. Like, you good?
Oh, dear God. Even the
I demand
CNN
it.
panel were bemused by that foolishness. But for a really severe, incurable case of TDS lunacy, we cannot go past this mad rant from James Carville.
I'm talking about madness like King George III kind of madness. And it could be a combination of being a fat slob, which of course he is.
Okay.
It could be that he's can't sleep at night because his beached whale body can't allow the circulation it needs. I don't know. I'm not a sleep specialist or a medical doctor. But I think we should revisit the possibility of a syphilis diagnosis.
Oh, my God. No wonder the Democrats are practically unelectable at the moment. Let's look at Saturday Night Live now. They had their own take on the Zelensky.
Like, these guys literally self-destructed over that speech, and I love it. I love it. They literally self-destructed over their performance at the State of Union.
Blow up, and sadly, it was about as funny as a burst appendix.
Sorry if I.
You know, you say you want to end this war, but frankly, you don't have the cards, okay? I have the cards, all right? I have skip. I have draw 4. I have reverse. I have get out of jail free. The Supreme Court gave me that one. Pikachu and Charmander and Charizard. All I'm missing is a Charmeleon.
Not only did that guy look nothing like
All right, he lost me in the end. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, he lost me in the end.
Trump or sound anything like Trump, the whole thing was so lame and unfunny. And what's worse is that they had the best Trump impersonator available. Shane Gillis was on the show. Here he is on Kill Tony shortly before the election. And I warn you, this is a little blue, but it's actually funny.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey. What a great lady. I talked to her backstage, and wonderful woman. The tits are real. Excuse me. A lot of people are saying her tits are fake. They're not fake. I touched them. And great tits, wonderful tits, American tits, and that's the thing.
And that's the best of tits is them American tits.
We've lost under this administration. Where are the American tits anymore?
But instead, Saturday Night Live had...
Where's the American tits, man? Where's the American tits? Oh, my God. Okay, that was funny. I'm going to have to go, bro. I'm going to have to find that Kill Tony.
Shane Gillis doing a new skit. Now, it was okay. It was amusing enough, but he should have been playing Donald Trump. Let's have a quick look at that new skit.
The suspects are believed to be 4 white.
Yes! No, that's right.
I'm sorry, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, just relieved that the police have quite identified the suspects.
Exactly, very white. Okay, police are looking for looters, huh? You hear that? These looters were spotted after wildfires devastated homes in Hunt Valley Township. Looters.
Okay, just read the story. That's enough.
Looks like they stole televisions, bikes. Who do you think that was? What color do you think that was?
Good job, Dale.
All right. Police are on the lookout for the alleged ringleader. Local man.
I even go live. When I heard it, I'm like, damn, hold on. TV, scooters, bikes, hold on.
Oh, yeah. There's powerful niggardry at work here.
Named Ethan Kapowski, damn it.
Now, since we are delving into the world of comedy, let's hear from comic John Christ mocking social justice warriors who grandstand on the internet. About time these massive hypocrites were called out.
Just like on the internet, just like, we stand with Ukraine. I go, you don't even have custody of your kids, dude. What?
Hey, bro.
What are you talking to? Pick up your kids from soccer practice, then we'll talk about foreign policy, Kevin. We are living on stolen land. I'm like, you're still on your parents' cell phone plan.
Bruh. Oh,
you're on stolen minutes, Brittany. Who are you talking to? Oh, shit.
Let's have a gander at the Oscars, the night devoted to celebrating excellence in cinema. Well, except it's not anymore. It's a massive leftist snore fest featuring a bunch of pretentious films.
And it is funny, though, because you got to understand, bro, the left, y'all scream broke. Like, and I'm not saying that y'all broke, but y'all just scream broke. It's like y'all just scream the hatred of broke people. The hatred of rich people. And for some reason, I do not understand. Y'all just think rich people are the most evil people in the world, but they're the reason that you kind of got a roof over your head, the reason why you got a job. So I don't understand where this all comes from, but yeah, it's like, yeah, trust me. Like, y'all talking about stolen land. It's like, bro, you're damn, you've been in your mom's room too long. That's a stolen room. Like, come on, bro.
Films no one's bothered to watch, but satisfy the Academy's diversity quotas or inclusion standards, as they call it. And of course, they started the ceremony with an incoherent land acknowledgement delivered by actress Julianne Hough.
We gather in celebration of the Oscars on the ancestral lands of the Tongva, Tataviam, and Chumash peoples, the traditional caretakers of this water and land. We honor and pay our respects to Indigenous communities here and around the world.
The what tribe now? Didn't they slaughter the previous tribes that lived there? Matt Walsh tweeted this response to the Oscars' vacuous virtue signaling. He wrote, she paid homage to the Tongva tribe, but the Tongva moved into Southern California thousands of years after it had already been occupied by a more ancient tribe. They killed and displaced the inhabitants and took over. If they get to claim the title of Indigenous, then so do we. Interesting point there. Almost like lands and people have been conquered over and over again throughout history, and perhaps assigning collective guilt or collective reverence and praise to people based on their color or ethnicity is not the...
Oh yeah, and guys, we got about 100 of y'all in here. Do me a favor. Go ahead and double tap that screen for me and like the video with the 3 dots up there in the corner. All right, let's continue with the show.
Best of ideas. But back to the Oscars, and when you think about what a far-left lunatic asylum Hollywood has become, then you won't be...
I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's like, how anti-American are we getting here? That's the problem with the left. It's like, bro, y'all will do anything in y'all power to acknowledge every other culture but America's. Like, y'all will do everything in y'all power to acknowledge every other people but Americans. What is wrong with y'all? Do you not understand that Americans are the ones that are voting you in? They're the ones that actually are going to, or that you're supposed to convince to vote you guys in. When you're over here throwing us out the, I mean, literally throwing us over the boat for immigrants, for foreigners, it's like, hey, how long y'all think y'all gonna stay in power with this type of with these actions? Like, I really wonder.
Surprised that the most...
But we're gonna go ahead and move on from this one because I'm not really too interested in what went on at that Oscars. I wasn't even watching. I was not even watching. But let's go.
Yeah. I just wanted to get your opinion on the funding of AIPAC and the alleged buying out of the U.S. Congress, especially with everything going on overseas and the highly criticized and debated, like...
All right, here we go.
Got it. Hey, good afternoon. How are you? Yeah. I just wanted to get your opinion on the funding of AIPAC and the alleged buying out of the U.S. Congress, especially with everything going on overseas and the highly criticized and debated, like, two-party state between Israel and the Palestinian people.
Oh shit! My opinion of AIPAC?
How would you curb or resolve the issue? Not just AIPAC. We have our own domestic issues, but they're coming in and earning $28 billion for their donation of $43.5 to the U.S. Congress. So our foreign, like our proxies and our donations to Ukraine and the state of Israel.
So how would I curb that?
Yeah.
I mean, well, look, understand, AIPAC is constituted of Americans that are advocating for a foreign policy thing they care about. And it's a very dangerous road to be on. There are groups of Armenians that advocate for the recognition of the Armenian genocide. There are groups of American Indians that recognize for better relations with India. And it just so happens there are a lot of American Jews that argue for a very strong relationship with Israel. So can I better understand the question?
So how do you feel about America using Israel as a proxy? And like the Apollo affair and Levant affair and the Gulf Wars and the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq.
Okay, there's a lot there. So how do I think of Israel as an ally? Is that what you're asking? Or?
As America.
He might as well just be cut like, bro, just straight shoot, bro. What you think about Israel controlling our government? Or do you even think that Israel has control in our government? What's your thoughts on this Israel in general? Even with the Palestinian war, you think they're in the right, they're in the wrong, you think they're genocide, defending. I'd be like, bro, just straight shoot with them with it. Because you're trying to beat around the bush with the whole Israel topic. Nah, lay in on them with it.
Using it as a proxy to keep a chokehold on the Middle East.
Well, I kind of reject the premise of that. I mean, I'm very pro-Israel. I don't think they're perfect. I think they do a lot that I wouldn't do and that I don't support. But I don't know. I would better argue that Israel is a complicated ally of the United States, but very necessary in the Middle East.
Yes. And why so?
Stationary, yeah.
For many reasons, for military technology sharing, for data sharing, for also they're a free society and an island of totalitarianism.
Yeah. So a Western power based on imperialism and imperialistic tendencies?
Well, not necessarily. No, I mean, they're their own sovereign country with their own elections, their own country, right?
I mean, but they do kind of, they do expand their border though.
Do you think Israel has a right to exist?
I do, and I believe in a two-party solution, but I don't believe in
two-state solution.
Two-state solution. But I don't believe in the genocide and displacement of 1.7 million Palestinian people. Because if you advocate for life, you advocate for all life around the world.
So let's make sure we get our terms right. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what is a genocide?
Mass killing of people.
Okay,
and a targeted mass killing of people.
Is that what Israel is doing?
Yes, most definitely.
How?
So you're telling me?
Hold on. Let's get back. Did Hamas then commit a genocide on October 7th?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me get there. Yes.
Based on your so both sides are committing genocide.
But since 48, we have the partition plan of 1947. We have the transfer agreement in 1933. There's so much that built up to it. The Warsaw Ghetto.
Okay, so it's justified to go into nurseries and.
No, they didn't do that. Where's your evidence?
No, they did.
Okay.
No, hold on, time out.
If you want to go to crimes, then I can pull up a list of
where's the evidence? I can show you GoPro footage.
I'll show you footage.
Hold on a second. GoPro footage of hours uninterrupted of Hamas terrorists wearing GoPros going into rock concerts and indiscriminately women, kidnapping them and bringing them back to Gaza. If you'd like to watch that footage, you can. But you said, so I need a clear answer. Just make sure I'm clear.
Yeah.
A genocide is the targeted mass killing of people.
Yes,
so
sir.
Hamas is guilty of genocide.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on, bro. Because if you can put that on Hamas, you could also put that on Israel. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's like, okay, cool. I get it. Hamas, what Hamas did was horrendous. I do not agree with it. But, yo, I mean, y'all took out 40,000 people. Yo, you don't think that they might try to find power and do it again because of what y'all keep doing? It's like, I don't know where people lose that connection. Like, hold on. They take out 1,500 and y'all take out 40,000. Like, what? What?
But correlating up. Okay, do you believe in? This is off topic. What?
No, I'm glad you said yes.
No, the Bill of Rights. Look.
So
the
therefore,
Second, Third, and Fourth Amendment. Do you believe in them?
Yes, the right to bear arms, the right not to have soldiers quartered, and the right to privacy.
Exactly.
We can keep going. The right to fit.
So as
right
Israel has been violating those for nearly the course of 100 years, how would you feel if you invite someone into your home and you let them stay as a guest when they were oppressed?
Well, hold on a sec. So, first of all, the Second Amendment is not applicable outside of the shores of the United States. So, not sure where you're going with that. But I want to make sure let me just.
He's trying to make a principle thing. Well, you know. These amendments is something that I ain't gonna lie. It's like we feel it. It's like this is something that we truly believe. Like even if it's outside, it may be outside the US. This may not be going on outside the US, but this is how American people honestly feel like the world should be ran. We honestly do feel like, yeah, what you mean? Y'all should have the same amendments that we do. Too bad you don't, because they're great, but it is what it is. Now, but these are values that we do have, because if you were to tell me like, hey, yo, how do you think other countries have the same amendments that America has? I mean, yeah, hell yeah. It would keep them from a tyrannical government, just like it's kind of keeping us away from one. Or at least it gives us the option to take these guys out whenever we wake the fuck up.
Have you answer this final question?
Yes.
If a foreign power commits genocide against you, as you admit Hamas did, how should Israel respond?
Okay.
No, but so
look, I'm saying,
how should Israel respond? Genocide
they're
was
allowed
committed
to
against.
defend themselves, most definitely, but not to the extent they have done. It's killing 65,000 people.
First of all,
1,200 and bombing civilian areas. 70% of their casualties are women and children, and the average age of a child in Gaza is 18 years old.
So first of all,
where are we drawing the line and the shade of gray between black and white? Who's right, who's wrong? We don't know.
Well, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. They came over there. They great women. 1,500 people died. Hostages taken. I get it. So what was wrong with going over there? Surgical like strike. Make sure you guys go in there. Take out the right people. Spare the women and children. Get your hostages and step out. Like, why did it have to be a whole bombing campaign? That would just never make sense to me. And I don't be real with you. There's no pro-Israel person that could honestly rationalize it.
Started it.
Israel, most definitely.
Hold on.
The Arab-Israeli war.
Hold on a second. Time
this
out.
Has been going
on October 6th, the day before, was there an act of war?
Yes, prior. Why do you think there's a group of resistance living there?
Yeah, that is true. It's like people do be forgetting, like acting like Hamas was just there. It's like a resistance group usually is resisting against something. You feel me? Like, just like I said, it's kind of like the idea that we have a Putin. Like, he just woke up one day and said F Ukraine. No, Hamas did not wake up one day and just said F Israel. This has been something that's been brewing for decades.
When resistance happens.
Okay, no, I can. So I just want to make sure I understand the argument that this has been a bubbling up conflict since the 1950s.
It has been prior to the 50s.
Let me answer your question. Israel got out of Gaza in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Gave it to Hamas.
But if they're still ruling over,
why were they not able to create a nice place in Gaza?
Because Israel is holding their materials and their right. It is illegal.
So do you see a through line here, guys? And it's important though. It's always somebody else's fault.
Don't speak over me, please. Let me
well, it actually is my deal, but that's fine. So it is always somebody else's fault, right?
No,
so
I'm saying there's wrong on both sides, most definitely, but more on the side of Israel. It's unsanctioned and unreasoned to go and kill that many people for no reason.
Well, give me the equation. I want to make sure I understand.
You believe in an eye for an eye, right?
Generally, but I just want to know the equation though.
So this is politics. They can negotiate. We can release prisoners. We can embargo.
Which they are.
Okay, yeah, as going on.
And you admit Hamas uses civilians as human shields?
Absolutely not. I believe Israel does, and I have video footage of it.
Well, I ain't gonna lie though. The problem with this Israel-Hamas debate, I mean, it gets hella divisive. And I mean, there's always such opposing opinions. Like, oh, were they in there killing babies, or were they not? Like, oh, did they rape the women, or did they not? And I've heard reports on both sides. I've heard they haven't. I heard they did. I heard it's propaganda. I heard it's real. At a certain point, I have to throw my hands up and I'll just be like, look, bruh, I was just concerned about the dead women and children. Now, all this is whatever at this point. They stopped the ceasefire. Things are moving in the right direction. It is what it is. All right, let's go.
Everybody, including Ukraine, walked all over us, okay? Besides Trump is a matador.
We are fighting for our own freedom.
Then
so
you should be mad at the people that want to push them into NATO.
Question.
We have actual enemies, and Russia is not one of them.
There is a lot of bullshit swirling around about this war.
It's quite unusual and quite scary for me to land as an American citizen and being told that now the American state is going to be set on me.
If that's not the same weaponization of the justice system that Biden was doing to Trump, then what is it?
He makes the left's case for it. This guy shows up and says, I'm a real man. I beat on women. And the right is like, yeah, right on. This is a real man. It's disgusting.
You keep saying Meghan Markle, you know I'm Sussex now.
It is reputed.
About Andrew Tate.
She spent under 6 hours in the county in her entire lifetime.
God, man, watch who you marry.
Andrew and Tristan Tate are now under criminal investigation in Florida. Ben Shapiro launched a campaign to free George Floyd's killer, which Elon Musk says is something to think about. And Meghan Markle's new Netflix show is...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. The black community gonna lose their shit. Bro, they are going to lose their shit, bro. Like, here's the thing. The man, he deserves to be freed. Quite honestly, he does deserve to be freed. But my community will lose their goddamn shit. They cannot take it, goddamn it. They just will not be able to take it. God,
less popular than Ebola. Well, we'll get to all of that in a second half of the show, but we begin with the vital olive branch from President Trump last night to President Zelensky.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand.
But before we get into this, I do got to pay my respects to my man, Hellbat. Hopefully you still in here, Hellbat. Hopefully you still in here. This one get 3 minutes too. But all right, let's keep.
Hello. I sell a soup by the bar. $5. Apple, $5. Oh, you want more sweat? $5. Haha. My name is Dr. Chopstick King Kong Pow, and I like to eat puppies. My mom and dad will karate chop me in the penis if I don't bring home all A's, yeah. We're all Chinese, we're all half blind, that's why none of us can't drive, keep crashing on the highway. So if you see me on the side, changing my tires, don't be surprised, at least I made it out of the driveway. Well, this is the Asian people song, so everybody sing along. Ching chong, ching chong, ching chong, ching chong. This This is the Asian people's song. So everybody sing along. Ching chong, ching chong. Wing wong, ting tong. I like to make shrimp fried wire. I know I look high with my slanted eyes. Doesn't mean that I smoke.
I will smoke cats though, on a grill.
My career is usually Asian cuisine or any job that involves wearing a lab coat.
Like every doctor and scientist ever.
I pee shrimp lo mein and I boo video games with my Nintendo booty.
Seriously, we make like the best video games in the world. Yo.
Yes, we all look the same. It's like Jackie Chan and Luke Cage are in every kung fu movie. Oh, this is the Asian people song. So everybody sing along. Ching chong, ching chong. Ching chong, ching chong. This is the Asian people song. So everybody sing along. Ching chong, ching chong. Wing wong, ting tong.
Hey man, how much is it gonna cost for 2 pieces of chicken?
2-piece chicken, $5.
Oh, okay.
1-piece chicken, $5.
Wait, what?
Pork, $5.
Hold on now.
Everything
You're
$5.
doing too much now.
Chinese food always have me like I want more. Cause Asians practice Taekwondo on cats. Yeah, we be karate chopping kittens. And then we take them to the kitchen to make Kung Pao chicken. And mittens, ching chong ching. My penis is the size of a pinto bean. They call me SpongeBob and I don't know why. Probably because we're both yellow and we can't drive. This is the Asian people's song.
No.
So everybody sing along. Ching chong ching chong. Ching chong ching chong.
Yep. You know what? I don't want none of the Asian homies be pulling up with me like, what was that song about? Said I'm like, I don't know, man. You might want to blame my man Hellbat on that one.
Ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security.
You know, so funny though. A lot of y'all stayed around and watched that. I just want to let y'all know. Y'all just as racist as me, man. That's crazy.
Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter. Just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Well, it's fair to say before his congressional address that relations between the US and Ukraine had hit rock bottom. The Oval Office blowout led to the US pausing all military aid to Ukraine, leaving it in a desperate and dangerous limbo. On Wednesday, CIA Director John Ratcliffe announced that intelligence sharing with Ukraine had also been paused to pressure its government to cooperate with the Trump administration's plans to end the country's war with Russia. No matter where you stand on America's involvement in foreign wars, this is clearly a crucial reset. Nobody, including Trump, wants Putin to declare war victory here. Everyone, especially Trump, wants the war to end. The question is whether this week's diplomatic mayhem has made a breakthrough more or less likely. Well, joining me now, a decorated Iraq veteran and commentator Rob Smith, Mesa Gifford, a British veteran of the Ukrainian army, Angry Patriot Vinny Oshana from the PBD podcast, and from the Free Press, the author of Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women, Batia Ungar Sargon, and also the People's Deputy of Ukraine, Kira Ruddick. Well, welcome to all of you. Kira, let me start with you, if I may. What is your response to what appeared to be a clear olive branch from President Trump to President Zelensky last night?
Hello, Pearson. Thank you so much for having me. Well, we were surprised to see what we have seen today when America stopped the intelligence provision to Ukraine after President Trump was so clearly saying that the relations are getting warmer, right? One has to wonder, was it all planned beforehand and just executed right now? And the question is, why is pressure being put on Ukraine and not on Russia? Who is the aggressor here? And how many people are being sentenced to death right now by this decision of pulling the intelligence, of pulling the aid?
Yeah, I mean, Rob Smith, first of all, thank you for your service. Obviously, you're a decorated Iraq veteran. I have great respect for that. What people seem a bit baffled by, me included, is that you can be putting pressure on Ukraine to come and do a peace deal for obvious reasons that make a lot of sense. I actually think that Trump's overview of where the war is completely accurate. I think he genuinely wants to forge peace here. What people have been taken aback by is that he's quite happy to call Zelensky a dictator and then withdraw that and keep attacking him and humiliate him in the Oval Office and so on, whilst maintaining a position of never appearing to criticize Vladimir Putin at all, despite the fact that it was Putin, of course, and his Russian forces who invaded 3 years ago.
Well, I will say this, first of all, thanks for having me, Piers. First of all, it's not probably a...
And make sure to like the video, guys. We got 100+ y'all in here, man. Let's get the 50 likes. So go ahead and double tap that screen for me or hit the 3 dots up there in the corner. Remember, you can also send in any questions, comments, jokes, disagreements. $2 and up. We'll go ahead and read it out loud, react to it, and post it to the top of the screen. Appreciate the support, guys.
Good choice to criticize and to be really hard on the person that has basically the upper hand between Ukraine and Russia, which is Putin, right? So that's first of all. And second of all, I think that what people need to understand is that the people that were quote unquote taken aback by Trump's behavior towards Zelensky, by Trump's behavior towards the Ukraine, seem to be political commentators, seem to be people that were in support of just never ending this war, okay? I am somebody that voted for Trump, and I voted for this. I voted for strong leadership. I voted for somebody to hold Zelensky accountable. I voted for somebody to stop this endless sea of American taxpayer dollars that have been going to Ukraine for the past 3 years to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars. The only people that are surprised by this behavior are the people that have become used to weak leadership in this country. The people who have become used to somebody like former President Biden, and a lot of the people that were advising him being run all over by Zelensky, by the people of Ukraine, by the people that supported this nonstop funding of American tax dollars to this country. President Trump has said very strongly and has sent very strong signals through his words and through his actions that not only does he want this war to end, but that we will not continue to send endless amounts of American taxpayer dollars to this country.
And what's wrong with that position? That's the craziest part. Why are we getting villainized for saying that we do not want to no longer fund a massacre? I'm gonna be real with you. It just don't make sense. We're no longer going to fund a losing war. If you think that Ukraine is going to win, all right, cool. Take your ass over there, dude. Join the Ukrainian army, and I wish you the best of luck. But the reality of the matter is that, bro, any country that's throwing money into this war right now is funding a losing war. Trust me. If anything, Putin's just sitting by, just waiting until everybody to exhaust their funds on this.
Okay, before I go to Mesa to respond, though, do you, Rob Smith, think Vladimir...
And shout out to my man Gillis. He says, hey, sorry for the drama. Didn't mean to drag that into the show. Just need to get that shit sorted out. Unfortunately, no resolution tonight. Eventually. But speaking of that, shout out my man Big Wave Dave, man. How you doing, brother?
Yo, bro. Yo, I'm sorry, I got a thing for chat. Namaroff. 0 tax dollars have gone to Ukraine. Where do you think the federal government gets the money from? Tax dollars, you fucking moron. Holy shit, bro.
He says 0 tax dollars went to Ukraine. Like, then whose money went to Ukraine then? Don't say the government, because the government's money is our money.
Exactly. Like, are you... Ugh, bro, like, it irritates me, these trolls that get in here. Like, they're so dumb or retarded. I don't know. Like, you don't understand how the government fucking works? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but they want to come in here and try to argue their points. I'm like, all right, bro. Okay.
Okay, so another one I got here is, all right, so I don't know if you guys had already played, because, you know, I haven't been on, but did you guys play the whole congressional thing with Trump?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen so many videos of people like blasting Democrats. Like, we were Democrat, but look at you fucking children grow up.
Yeah, because it was downright disrespectful. Like, bro, they couldn't those things that they were just supposed to stand up on principle about. Just on principle. And the fact that they chose that time to sit there and be childish. I'm like, y'all hate that man Trump that much, to where he keeps you from celebrating other Americans or grieving with your fellow Americans. And yeah, you guys are children.
And it's like they keep saying, like, this dude can cure cancer, and they'd be like, oh, well, no, he just destroyed millions of people by doing that. Like, just making shit up and doing shit. Like, it's what they do, and it's fucking irritating.
Man, he's like, Trump could stop war. He's killing our weapons companies, and a lot of millions are losing their jobs. It's like, but bro, no war.
Exactly. Oh, okay. So we get money and people die, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly to your point.
Like, you can never satisfy them with that. At this point, you can never satisfy them. And then I remember they pointed it out. I think it was on PBD. Like, anybody notice like what color tie the man had on? Trump.
I did not watch it, so I don't know.
Okay, well, he had a purple tie, and people were trying to say you're trying to wear that as like a unifying fact, because usually the man pulls out with the red tie. We all know Trump for the red tie, but that time this man came out in a purple tie. I was like, smart.
Not even smart, but you know they're gonna criticize everything he does every fucking time. They're gonna criticize him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He tried to be a unifier, and in that moment, they still just smacked his hand away and said, "Fuck you." I was all right.
Yeah, and for that fucking kid that was like got through brain cancer,
it's like, bro, I couldn't stand for it. And here's the thing: that was a black kid too. So remember, they're supposed to be about the minorities, black people, all this crazy, all this good stuff.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about any of that.
They don't care. Disabilities, all that good stuff. They don't care.
And they keep pushing all the same bullshit, like, oh, he's going to cut Medicaid, cut Medicare. No, he's going to get the people that shouldn't be on it off of it.
Yeah, and apparently, like these people who are reusing Social Security numbers, like that's the problem. Like we have illegals reusing Social Security numbers of dead people.
Oh, yep.
Making it look like they still walking the earth somehow, some way.
Did you see that video of Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, I did.
Where he's like, nobody 150, 200, 300 years old are getting checks. No, they're not, because they're dead, but other people are getting those checks, you freaking idiot.
Oh, bro, I listened to that entire video. It was the complete neglection of the last 4 years of presidency that killed me. Like egg prices ain't went down, grocery prices ain't. I'm like, bro, do you not know who is leading this? Like, that's your fault. Like, thank you for reminding us. But don't come on here acting like, oh, everything is Trump's fault when we've been dealing with the results of the last 4 years of Biden.
I don't know if I was on call with you or Key before, but I said, you know, it's either look, a Republican gets in after a Democrat. Oh, well, you inherited everything from that Democrat. But you know, it's vice versa. You know, when okay, so you inherited all that, and then it goes back. Oh, well, now we're in. Oh, now we inherited all that. But then when we get in again, oh, now it's his fault. Like immediately, like come on.
It's like that didn't make. Oh no, it was killing me though. When it was like, oh, day one egg prices, day one Ukraine to be solved, and I'm just like, y'all not know what y'all man Biden did in the background. Even on the way out, he was fucking things up. That's what was honestly killing me. I was like, so y'all don't know about the long range missiles, bird flu. Yeah, y'all know about none of that. So anything that pretty much proved that this man Biden or the Biden administration was just doing everything in their power to shoot themselves and Trump in the foot. It's like, y'all don't know. Convenient.
Yeah, it immediately becomes Trump's fault at that point. It's getting old. I think everybody's starting to see through it at this point. Like it's getting old.
It sounded crazy when it was like a week in or less than a month in, and there was already asking for all of these things. I'm like, what? Like, where was these demands of Biden? Like, where was them though? Where were those demands? Like 4 years in, why didn't you ask them that year one?
Seth, the economy wasn't a problem under Biden. You know, they kept telling us like, oh no, it's the economy's great. The economy's great.
Yeah, best.
And then as soon as Trump gets in, oh, the economy's trash.
It's like, really. So
and why do you think all these left wing freaking shows are getting cut? Like they need to cut The View. I don't understand why that's still on the air.
It's a women's show, so they got other things that they bring besides, social commentary on political views. I give them that one.
Yeah, but every time the political things come up, like, you got that one idiot that constantly has to read, begrudgingly read these statements that say, "Oh, well, this is not the case," and blah, blah, like just the look on her face, like you're a fucking asshole.
Like, for real. And honestly, they should just cut out their whole political segment. Like I said, it's low-key a women's show. So
Yeah, cut out the political shit and move the fuck on and do your QC shit for other shit.
God.
But they're not, the one, what's her fucking name? That's the former lawyer. The hateful one that had to read all the statements because she kept saying stupid shit.
I think somebody in the chat gonna know, but I don't even know their names like that. All I know is Whoopi Goldberg, and that's because, movies.
Yeah, I loved Whoopi in her movies. Like,
man, me too.
Did you ever see Jumpin' Jack Flash?
When did that come out?
Oh, that's old. That may be before your years, bro.
Hold on. I've seen a lot of Whoopi Goldberg movies. I'm just like, hold on, you got me with that.
No, that's an old one, but it was good. I love Sister Act and Sister Act 2, but then when she got on The View, like, shut the fuck up, like you're an idiot.
And what can I say? Like, I guess some of these actors were able to spin to political pundits overnight, because I ain't gonna lie, it's like I never really knew The View to have such a strong political stance until Trump came around.
Oh, but they had Trump on before he was president, and they loved him then.
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, so did Oprah.
Yeah, exactly. But as soon as he turns Republican, then they have like a hard on for getting after him and calling him trash and racist and whatever else.
Man, saying I always knew he was a racist. I'm like, why didn't y'all tell him that 20 years ago? Like, shoot, when he was in your face.
I know, you were kissing him on the cheek and giving him hugs. Like, come on now.
Man, possibly asking for donations. He probably even gave it to you. It's like, come on. But I was actually hoping somebody else was gonna hop on, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But
all right, we'll get back to the show, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Dave.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Putin's a dictator.
I do personally, yes.
Okay. Well, I think that's an important thing to say. I think that lost in all this is the fact that obviously Putin is a dictator.
Shit.
And Pierce, can I just make it?
Yeah.
I just want to make it clear that number one, I do think that Putin is a dictator. I do think that Russia is.
No shit. We know Putin's a dictator. Yes, he runs an oligarchy. We know this. Like, but here's the thing, though. That doesn't really matter right now. What matters is, yes, he wants to end it too. He wants to come and he wants to be sat down with America, Ukraine, and he honestly wants us to talk for Ukraine, to be honest with you. And that's the funniest part about this. You don't want to talk to Zelensky. You want to talk to Trump about what to do with Ukraine, seeing that, we've been their financial backer through this, so damn near through the whole war.
Is very aggressive. I do not agree with a lot of the stuff. I am in no way on the side of Russia at all. I know that that's a talking point that, and I'm not saying you did this, Piers, but I know that a lot of Democrats that.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not on the side of Russia either, but I blame NATO. NATO done NATO literally through this entire Ukrainian war done put Russia in a winning position with this. It's like, y'all done put Russia in a winning position. Now we kind of got to let them have it. Like, we can't let them have everything they want. We kind of got to cut them somewhere, but y'all put them in a pretty damn good position.
Want this forever aid to go to Ukraine, like to say that anybody that is critical of nonstop U.S. taxpayer dollars going to Ukraine is.
No, I get that, and I don't disagree with Trump on that. I don't. Yeah, I think the war is at a terrible virtual stalemate where for 8-9 months now, all that's happened is both sides killing vast numbers of the other side in rolling open flat fields. And this is reminiscent of World War One to many military eyes. Let me bring in Mason Gifford. You're a British veteran and you've been in the Ukrainian army as well. What do you say to Rob Smith, also a fellow veteran who has a strong view in the way he's articulated? What's your response to that?
Well, I'd say that America needs to start looking to its values. It needs to start remembering who the victim is here in this conflict. Russia brutally invaded a European sovereign nation on the edge of Europe, a democracy, a country that ranks far higher on the freedom indexes than Russia, and they are brutalizing this beautiful country. I was on the front line, particularly in the south and around Kherson. I fought with the 131st Separate Reconnaissance Battalion, and I saw with my own eyes the extraordinary bravery of the Ukrainian people who are fighting not only for their homes, but for their lives against a genocidal regime that is determined to take all of Ukraine. And the big problem we've got here is Donald Trump he's come in to the White House with a sledgehammer, and he is absolutely trashing a political system, a world system that America has benefited from and actually built itself after the Second World War. We are entering a very dangerous phase of international relations, and I truly hope Donald Trump sees sense and starts to remember exactly the foundational values that America was built on.
Piers Morgan Uncensored is now proudly independent. If you like the show, we ask for only one thing. Subscribe on YouTube and follow Piers Morgan Uncensored on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now let's get straight to the point. Support for today's show comes from a business focused on a critical issue: prosperity. US national debt is at crisis levels. Inflation has made life more expensive for everybody, and the stock market is precarious. It's enough to make anyone's financial future feel grim. So what?
I ain't about to make y'all go through that. My bad to pull up just in time. But let's get right back to
us that we need to take a look at what our values are. That is one thing that America does not need.
British,
and I appreciate the fact that we have it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't like how other countries are trying to say, oh, you guys need to rethink y'all values. I'm like, oh, really now? Oh, really? Says the people who are locking their people up over social media posts. We need to rethink our values. Oh, really?
What we don't need is we don't need other people. We don't need other people lecturing us about what our values are. That's the first thing that we don't.
Oh God, we don't need people who can't even say what they want or have a goddamn gun telling us about our values.
It claims $300 billion of money has been.
No offense, UK. We like, hey, we love you over here. We love you, but look, y'all don't have no moral. Like, look, the moral grounds on this. Y'all don't got it, okay? Y'all don't got it. Because if y'all think about it like this, if y'all cared about this situation as much as I guess we did, then where's y'all $350 billion putting into Ukraine? Where's it at? I mean, y'all barely doing y'all part for NATO. Least you could do is, throw something for Ukraine. Make it rain for Ukraine.
Over to Ukraine, when in reality, something like
from you. And also don't need lectures.
Don't talk over each other. All right, don't talk over each other. You made your point, Rob. Let Mason respond.
Because the trouble is, we get a lot of sort of self-righteousness. We're getting a lot of ignorance actually from the Trump sort of administration at the moment. We've got to get a grip on reality. The reality is the US has not given $300 billion that Donald Trump has claimed. It's given something much more close to sort of $119 billion. Europe as a whole has given far more, actually not far more, but more than the United States in regard.
All of Europe, all the countries in Europe have given, you know what? Actually, I've seen the European numbers. Remember, the numbers he's getting came from Europe. It's actually ironic how they're covering their own ass with this. They told us 109. Europe, they did like 120 altogether. And I'm just looking like, how many countries are in Europe again? And, oh, yeah, aren't we just one country? So all of Europe, and we're talking about the Europe that Putin's apparently supposed to be threatening to take over, has pretty much given less. I mean, all of Europe. Think about it. If we take each country out and pretty much divide everything y'all gave up, yes, that's going to be way less than America. So why are we taking up all of Europe? And why not we just why don't y'all give us a spreadsheet of what each country is donated? Because that's pretty disingenuous to compare a whole continent to one nation. I mean, let's be real here. And then here's the thing. The fact that it's even close. The fact that we put up close to enough money than an entire continent is crazy.
Oh, shit. Regards to aid to Ukraine. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to start busting some myths and we actually need to start spitting some facts. Another big problem that we've got, and that I think is
here's the thing. Like I said, even if your numbers are right, even if the numbers are right, it is still asinine. Even if his numbers are right, 300 now. Even if our numbers are right, and it's 350 billion in tax dollars, boy, it's even worse.
A fact check. I mean, can you? So you're basically bringing up numbers here. I would like to know where these numbers are coming from, because you can't just say
I can say, Rob, I interviewed President Zelensky myself 2 weeks ago and crunched these numbers with him. And what is clear is they have not received, they've not even received nearly half the money that has been awarded to them from Congress, but the amount that's been awarded from Congress is actually about half the amount Donald Trump keeps saying. It's nearer like 160, 170 billion, not 350 billion.
With that? I want to make a point with that, Piers. And one thing when it comes to the amount of money that has been sent over to the Ukraine, there has been no.
And shout out to my man Hellback coming in with the 5. He says, I mean, not speaking for everyone, but I trust the dictator more than I trust the warmongers. Is that reasonable or delusional? I mean, hey, that's reasonable to me, brother. That is reasonable to me. I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy how the dictator is like, I'm ready to sit at the peace table, but Zelensky, who's supposed to be, you know, this rider for democracy, is wanting the war. It's just like prolonging the war. NATO, who's supposed to be pretty much stopping, or I mean, well, it's a military alliance. NATO, I guess, supposed to be putting Russia in its place, is damn near. I mean, through this conflict with Ukraine, then help Russia expand its border. I mean, what the hell are y'all doing over there?
No oversight with this. It was a basically lawless Biden administration that was printing money and sending it over. There is no oversight to this.
Well, but Rob,
I mean, look. Putin's a dictator at worst, oligarchy at best.
Rob, again, hang on, but again, Zelensky, hang on.
Yeah.
Zelensky made it very clear to me that it has all been audited, and he's very happy that anyone who wants to do another audit of it to come forward and do that. So let's be clear that as I think Mesa made a very good point there. There is a lot of bullshit swirling around about this war. A lot of figures are not the correct figures. Let me bring in Vinny. I want to bring in the other guests. Hang on, Rob. I'll come back to you. Got plenty of time.
Sure.
I want to bring in Vinny. Vinny's been waiting unusually patiently, Vinny, I have to say. So congratulations for your rare outburst of patience. Vinny, I want to play a clip to you, and I want to see how comfortable you feel when you hear the words of Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. Let's listen to him.
Trump, он прагматик. Вот это его лозунг.
Trump, he's a pragmatist. His slogan is common sense, of course, and everybody already sees that. A shift to a different way of doing things.
Переход к другому способу ведения дел, но цель все равно.
But the goal is still MAGA.
Make America great again.
Make America great again. He's got a new cap now. Everything that Trump promised, he did. You see? This gives politics a lively human character.
Живой характер.
Oh, Vinny, what's your response to that?
I love, hey, guess what? Common sense, Piers. The guy sounds like he's making some sense. Opposed to Joe Biden, because Piers, let me, and first of all, thank you for your service, Rob. I love you to death. And for the other gentlemen, anybody that's served in a country, I'm a veteran as well. But let's get back to brass tacks. But this is all because of this last administration. And there's a contrast. Joe Biden was a doormat, weak, spineless, and everybody, including Ukraine, including everybody, walked all over us, okay? Besides Trump is a matador, okay? He's strong, and he's America first, and he doesn't play no games. And you know what, Piers, just really fast, I want to get to why. And I actually took notes, Piers. Why is all this happening? Why are we where we are? NATO, why was NATO trying to expand the border when they promised not to all the way to Russia's border? Okay, why did Joe Biden invite Russia? And you guys can look at the clip. He invited them to do a minor incursion. He basically invited them to attack Ukraine. He said that to Putin. And you know what? And now $350 million. You guys can fact check the numbers. I'm an American, okay, and I'm a veteran as well. I don't want $1 going to any country when we have United States veterans. Me and Rob are the fortunate ones that are dying in the streets, that are homeless. I go to VAs, of veteran hospitals. Piers, it will make you cry, the type of service that my brothers and sisters go through, that served and fought and are dying for this freaking country, right? And how many people have died in this pointless freaking war? Because you know what? Up here is this whole why. War is a racket. Okay, all of this is just all about the money. And I want to know what's the goal, Pierce? Why are these people, these warmongers, they don't give a shit about Ukraine. They're just trying to mess with Putin because they want war with Putin. You know why? Which country has the most natural resources and minerals on the planet, Pierce? You want to take a guess? Take a wild guess.
Where's Russia?
Russia, $75 trillion. It's all about the money. None of these people give a shit about the Ukrainian soldiers, Piers. Zero. And you guys want to talk about freedom? What's the conscription that's happening in Ukraine? I've seen the videos. They run up to men, sons, fathers, uncles. They grab them out of the street. They throw them in vans and they put them in the front lines. Who's a dictator, Piers? That's a dictator. Okay?
All right.
And I'm not taking sides with Putin.
Okay.
Two things, Piers, can exist at the same time.
Quickly,
bad. Putin's a bad guy, but this war is bullshit.
Okay. Batia, I'll come to you in 1 second. I just want Kira to respond to what Vinny just said.
It's very painful, and I just want to defend my countrymen, brave men
the
and
truth
women
hurts. I'm sorry.
who are
The truth
fighting
hurts.
for our freedom. Because, you know, we are a free country. We were free and we remain free. We have chosen to fight because we were brutally attacked by our neighbor who just came in to torture, to rape, to kill. And we decided that we will not capitulate. We will stand for ourselves. And the world is watching. And the only thing that we are asking is to support us that we can end this war. We are capable of doing that. We were so
You
clear.
can't win the war. Hold on, Kira, can you win this war?
Absolutely.
There's no
If you give
chance
us
of winning this
enough
war.
of the weapons and
No.
supplies,
Yeah,
we can.
How much
We
more?
have,
$1 trillion?
gotten
$1
into the
trillion
Kursk
and how many
region.
lives?
We have
It's
gotten
an
into the
impossible
Kursk
war to
region
win.
Okay,
because
don't
Russia
talk over
is
each other.
unable.
Vinny,
Because
Vinny,
Russia
let
is
Kira
unable to
respond.
control their own territory.
You're not
We were
gonna beat
able to.
Putin.
We were able to do that, and we will continue doing
unattainable
it
goal.
because we are fighting for our own freedom, for our ability to define our
should
own
be mad.
future.
To what extent? To what extent, though? How far will y'all take this? What, to the last man and woman? You're a woman. You're not fighting out there. So who the hell are you to even say anything about this? No offense to women, but you ain't got no skin in the game. You over here sitting here nice and pretty. If you was out there on the field, I doubt you'd be saying, let's fight for my country. Let's keep on going. You wouldn't be saying that.
Then
So
you should be
second
mad at the
question.
people that want to push them
Second
into NATO.
question.
Why?
Second, let me answer to what you have asked me,
Yeah,
right?
go ahead.
You want to hear the answer.
Yeah,
If
I
we are
wanna
talking
hear it.
about the money, right? So why
Yeah,
is
big
the pressure being pushed on Ukraine and not on Russian frozen assets? $300 billion right now in Belgium Euroclear. We are happy that Trump confiscates that and uses for whatever he needs. Why it has not been done? Why? If it's all about money, why? I'm asking you, and we have no good answer to that.
Yeah, when your
I
president
actually
comes to our
agree.
freaking country begging money.
I actually agree. Those frozen assets should be used. Let me bring in Batty. Be waiting very patiently, Batty. Look, it's a very complex.
Now, here's the problem. Using Russia's frozen assets can create a diplomatic problem. I mean, we're trying to create peace with these guys, but we just took some of their bread and we spent it on their enemy. I mean, it's like, come on now. We're trying to make peace with these people. We're not trying to antagonize them like Biden.
Situation when Donald Trump said I'll get it fixed in 24 hours, I didn't believe him. I don't think he probably believed that either, and I think he's inherited a horrible mess that he wants to try and resolve. Where do you think we are with this, and how achievable do you think it is that Trump gets peace? Actually, it could happen very quickly, it seems to me, if everyone is of the mindset he now thinks they are. Making America healthy again is all the rage at the moment. It might be time for you to take charge of your health, as I'm doing with Jacked Up Fitness, diet and cardio, and to start your fitness.
Really are you, Pierce? All right, bet. She was never too late to get in shape, I'll tell you that.
We have our own national interests, which are not aligned with yours. We helped a lot. We tried our best, and it is now time to bring the bloodshed and the hemorrhaging of U.S. tax dollars, whether it's 150 billion.
Yeah, like, lady, I don't think you understand. We don't want war with Putin. And the only reason y'all want war with Putin is because you're receiving help. If you wasn't getting this help, y'all would have been done. You would have been begging for this stuff, for this massacre to stop. But for some reason, since y'all feel so emboldened by our taxpayer dollars, and I'm going to be real with you, the EU's taxpayer dollars, well, hey, to the best of luck, because I don't even know why she said we're fighting for our freedom in our country, and we get that, and I feel for you, sis, but You picked the wrong fight. You picked the wrong guy to fight. I ain't gonna lie. You picked the wrong guy to fight.
Billion or 300 billion to a close. And I'll say another thing. Yes, Putin is an autocrat and a dictator and a murderer, and Russia has legitimate security concerns. Those can both be the case. We've gotten into.
And shout out to Big Wave Dave. He said, I showed you in Discord the subversive tactics. Did I not? This goes down a rabbit hole. It really does.
This situation where we cannot.
Because, I mean, do anybody remember in the beginning of the Ukrainian war, what were the main people leaving Ukraine? Women and children. So to have a woman up here is almost disrespectful. And I'm going to tell you why. Because now if this was America and we have a woman up here, it's acceptable because women are in our military. There is no women out there on the front line. They're dragging men off the street to go fight on the front line in Ukraine. So a good woman staying there, oh, we're fighting for our country and not actually being out there on the battlefield is low-key disrespectful. But okay.
Admit that Russia is allowed to have any kind of legitimate concerns. You cannot end a war if you go into it against such a strong opponent with that point of view. I'll just make a few more quick points. I think from President Trump's point of view, he desperately wants this to end. He sees this correctly.
And here's the thing. Now, it's not our pleasant gift because it's being as grants and agreements. How can they fulfill those grants and agreements if they lose the war? Think about that. We were paying for them to win the war, so we can go ahead and have those agreements, go ahead and get some minerals and like resources, and then they'll be able to pay us back. How is that going to happen if they lose the war and all that shit goes to Russia? How that going to happen? That's why we're trying to like curtail this now. That's why America's looking like we're trying to find a way to get our money back. We're trying to, because we know, bro, if we let this shit play out, nobody's going to get their money back. We're always going to sit there with these grants and agreements we gave them, and it's all going to be Russia. You think they're going to give us our money back? Really?
As a proxy war that the Ukraine cannot win by itself and cannot even fight without our help. And he doesn't want to be in a proxy war. Pierce, you keep pointing out Donald Trump hates war. He wants peace. This is laudable and admirable. And I think what he sees Zelensky's move as being is 3 times President Zelensky refused this minerals deal, refused to sign it. He keeps asking for the kind of security guarantees that we only give NATO allies. Zelensky is trying to run a circumvention of NATO by creating a mini NATO between the US and Ukraine, and we will not stand for that. We do not want to be in war with Russia because that will be the end of the universe. That will be a nuclear war. And President Trump sees this very clearly. Yes, of course, from a moral point of view, Ukraine are the victims of a heinous, horrific attack on their sovereignty. But how do we end the bloodshed? There's only one way to do it, and it is a negotiated
Surrender.
peace.
It's a negotiated peace talk with Putin. Sadly, but that's just the way it is. And if it hurts your feelings, well, look, man, look. There's going to be a lot of things in life that's going to hurt your feelings, but look.
We do not care.
Trust me, the world.
We do not care.
Us here saying Key Media.
We do not care.
Trust me. In reality really doesn't care because this is what we're dealing with. So let's move on. Let's move on to one of our supporters, man. Shout out Seth. How you doing, girl?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What about you? Well, you already told me, but what did you want to talk about?
Well, I noticed in the chat, his name, his username anyways, is no.reply. I noticed that he has a lot of knowledge on a lot of this, and I was hoping that maybe if I come up here and I say to him about, I mean, I'm guessing it's a him or her, that about coming up here, because it seems like they got a lot of knowledge on everything, because they're even put paragraphs, and it's like, do you want to come up here? Because it seems like they have a lot of knowledge of a lot of things, so it's like, do you want to come up?
I mean, hey, the invitation is open. No reply. The invitation is open. And what was I about to say? Oh, and I already know why you were saying, who knows if that's a male or a female? Because hey, like with Frankie D, that was actually pretty funny. I did not know Frankie D was a she or a female.
Yeah.
Yeah, that threw me off. After that, I just stopped assuming. I was like, you know what? You never know.
Because usually Frankie is usually for a guy, but yeah.
Man, who knows the story behind that? But all right, Steph. Oh, anything else?
Other than that, that's it. I mean, I just noticed that like I said, he or she has a lot of info. So I mean, if you want to come up, just go to their main channel and go to the post, and it's right there, and just click on it.
Yeah, he says good for now. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm not gonna call in tonight. I'm a male."
Okay, I thought you were, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to assume. But I just noticed that you're very knowledgeable on this stuff, so that's why I thought, okay, maybe you just wanted to come up and share with the class.
Hey man, hey, either him or guest dude. Hey, platform's always open. Hey, even to the naysayers, even to the guys who have disagreements, you can always just go ahead and come in here and hey, tell us how you really feel, or tell us what you know. But
You mean like pleasant?
Yeah, that'd be nice. But hey. But all right.
And then also one more thing, guest dude and Dave, y'all already know why I'm pointing out you guys. Stop acting like a bunch of girls.
Well.
Hey, I had to say it. I had to say it.
All right, well, shout out Seth. All right, Seth.
All right, Seth.
Appreciate you, Seth. And man, hey man, y'all heard her, guys. Stop acting like little girls. You feel me? Okay, I'm just playing. I can't say it, but Seth can.
No, economic.
But we have given up. We have given up our nuclear weapons to you guys. We have given it up in 1994 for your
sorry, but the
protection.
American people are done funding this war. That is the reality, and you have to accept it.
But we have given the nuclear weapons for your security guarantees.
No?
Are those not worth anything? We were supposed to be a nuclear state, and America, United Kingdom, and Russia promised that if we will give up our nuclear weapons, we will be protected. And so here we are right now at the point when
woman, here's the thing though. You were not about to use nuclear. You were not going to use nuclear weapons with Russia because your first nuke was going to be your last. I mean, bruh, to take out Russia, you guys were going to need more than the nukes than you guys can produce. I'm going to be real with you. That, and you know what? I'm pretty sure they'd have found another way to get the nukes out of Ukraine. I mean, if you think that Putin's going to let y'all keep y'all nukes, I don't know about that. But let's just go off the fairness of that, right? Let's go with what she's saying. Oh, we gave up our nukes and you guys were supposed to protect us. I know, but that was before y'all poked the bear. I mean, yeah, we were protecting y'all, but we didn't think you was gonna go right in Russia's face and just try to spit in their face and walk away. Like, we didn't think y'all was gonna do that. Like, bro, protection under the guidelines that you wasn't gonna antagonize Russia. Maybe we should have made that a little bit more explicit to y'all in the beginning, but yeah, that was the real deal. Like, you give up your nukes and we protect you under the guidelines that you don't go fuck with Russia.
People who offered and promised to do that right now are giving up and saying, so sorry that you have done this. So sorry that you're requiring security guarantees that we cannot give you. But this is the one thing that we didn't hear from Donald Trump. How can he make sure that Putin will keep his part of the bargain? We have seen by the fact since 2019.
I do think that is now the crux of this whole debate, which is what are the security guarantees going to be? Zelensky, again, when I interviewed him, made it clear that he doesn't expect to be given full membership of NATO. He almost conceded that point. He concedes the point that the current territorial situation, it is likely we have to freeze things on those lines. He didn't want to give up sovereignty, but it was try and get it back politically later. But he accepts that we are where we are with the war. I thought he was very honest in my interview with him. But Rob, let me ask you about this. Part of all this, people are concerned that this is like a reshaping of the whole relationship between America, NATO, and Europe. And it was exacerbated by something that J.D. Vance said in an interview with Sean Hannity. Let's take a look.
If you want to actually ensure that Vladimir Putin does not invade Ukraine again, the very best security guarantee is to give Americans economic upside in the future of Ukraine. That is a way better security guarantee than 20,000 troops from some random country that hasn't fought a war in 30 or 40 years. The security guarantee and also the economic guarantee for Ukraine is to rebuild the country and ensure that America has a long-term interest.
Now, this caused a lot of outcry, not least in the UK, because obviously the two countries so far who've indicated they would send troops are the UK and France. And both of them have been heavily involved in military action with America, certainly within the last 30 years, Iraq, Afghanistan. A lot of outrage in the UK. Graham Stewart, an elected member of parliament, said, we have to consider the possibility that President Trump is a Russian asset. If so, Trump's acquisition is the crowning achievement of Putin's FSB career, and Europe is on its own. So, look, I don't think that is the case at all. However, was it ill-advised of J.D. Vance to use that phraseology about a random country which hasn't fought for 30 years, given the two countries so far that have said they'll put troops there, both have done so?
No, I don't believe so. And I think that the reason that so many people are shocked and outraged and all of this stuff. So I want to tell you, Piers, there's this circle that happens, all right? And we see it over and over again. This is what happens. President Trump actually stands up for America and American interests. If there's President Trump or his Vice President Vance or somebody that is supposed to speak for this country. So they actually stand up to American interests when the rest of the world is used to us being weak and, in Benny's words, basically rolling over. Then there is all of this outrage from the usual suspects. There's outrage from people in these different countries. There's outrage from the people that want things to continue to be the way that they have been for the past 20 to 30 years that have gotten us into the geopolitical position that we are in right now. So there's that outrage cycle. And then what ends up happening is that what Trump says or what J.D. Vance says, whoever the surrogate says, ends up being true, factual, and accurate. Think about the fact that, everybody was outraged about the Oval Office meeting with Zelensky about this mineral deal. And now Zelensky is all ready to sign this deal, right? So we see this over and over again. Piers, a lot of people are going to be shocked. A lot of people are going to be surprised. A lot of people are going to be outraged. This world needs shock and surprise and outrage from this country because they need to know that we are no longer a country that is just going to roll over for the rest of the planet. We are no longer a country that is just going to send hundreds of billions of dollars of our taxpayer dollars all across the world. It's just not going to happen anymore, Piers. And you're talking to somebody that is a fairly new Republican. Trump 1.0 is what brought me into the fold. So I can understand where a lot of Americans right now are frustrated with the status quo. So you're not talking to somebody that is just used to how things have been going for the past 20, 30, 40 years. I'm somebody that came into the fold back during Trump 1.0 because I knew that there needed to be a change in this country. So I am not shocked by these things. I am not surprised by these things. I am delighted by these things because your other guest made a analogy earlier. He said that Trump is taking a sledgehammer to everything. What has been happening over the past 20, 30, 40 years in this world needs a sledgehammer taken to it because we cannot continue to survive in this way. Not only can the world not continue to operate in this way, but I know certainly America, the country that I put on a uniform and fought for, the country that I love, the country that I've sacrificed so much for, and by the way, has provided me more opportunity than somebody who came where I come from could ever dream of. We are done with this. And it is time for a new America.
Okay. I mean, Mesa, I could see you sort of grimacing as you heard some of that, but the reality is a lot of Americans do share that view now. They do look at the way that NATO is funded. They look at the disproportionate contribution that America makes. They look at the fact that most of Europe has been way behind on even its basic defense spending. And they think, well, if you're not even prepared to defend yourselves properly or stump up enough for your NATO membership, why should we keep bailing you out? I have a lot of sympathy with that view. What do you think?
I think Europe does need to spend more on its defense. There is some concerns that the Americans have always had that absolutely are justified. However, one of the points your guest made a second ago was that America is done being taken advantage of, and you're going to see a new face to America. What we're effectively seeing is a new policy of isolationism, a policy in Ukraine of surrender, quite frankly, whereby the United States, alongside
What? Hold on. So we want to stop sending our taxpayer money, and here's the thing. So we're being isolationist because we don't want to help out on a war? That's insane. I mean, bro, an isolationist means, bro, like economically, we're not effing with you. Military-wise, we're not effing with you. It's all us. It's all about us. Nothing that we don't fuck with nobody but us. That's an isolationist. Us just saying we don't want to know more on this war. Just on Ukraine, not the world, but just on Ukraine. You're trying to say we're practice isolationists? Or practice isolationism? Is like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, it kind of shows how you guys want us to put more, not only wants to put more taxpayer money into this war, but you honestly wants to put boots on the ground. Like, what will make y'all happy? That's what I want to know. What do y'all truly want? You want to keep sending taxpayer dollars there, or you want to put boots on the ground, or you want both? Because that's asinine to sit there and try to claim that, oh, y'all trying to be isolationists. It's like, no, we're just trying not to fund a war no more. That's all. And it's just as simple as that. Crazy.
So its European allies was supporting a innocent country that's been brutally invaded by another state. And for the minimal amount of investment, not only devastated that strategic enemy's military reserves, and actually they are now much weaker because of this attack on Ukraine, but did it at a very affordable price. There are much greater powers around this world, the rise of China, etc., that will also threaten the United States. America, Reagan said it best when he said, you can have peace tomorrow. All you've got to do is surrender. And the big problem I've got with Trump at the moment and his administration is that he's pursuing this goal of isolationism, of trashing relationships, long-standing relationships with allies such as Britain, France, Canada, Mexico, that will not only damage America's economy, but much more importantly, its soft power, its ability to exert its influence around the world, which is a major part of how they will counter the rise of countries like China. China, the big part of America, the future of America, is to show the world that liberty, democracy, freedom matter. And that the rise of China and the rise of Russia that want to pollute the world with their autocracy and their evil can be countered by America's history and its solid foundation.
I mean, hold on. Here's the all right, UK, and this is why I gotta hop on y'all ass. Y'all can't talk about we got all this nice stuff, freedom of speech, amendments, and all that. Okay, cool. Why don't y'all adopt some of that as well if you feel so strongly about it? I mean, you feel like it should be adopted around the world, and why don't you adopt it yourself? Why don't you lead by example? Like, I don't know, you should have led by example of funding the Ukrainian war. Y'all should have led by example if you're really afraid of Putin by putting boots on the ground. But hey, y'all talk a lot and do very little, I guess. And y'all, I'm talking about y'all government, not the people.
So that is something that I think Trump needs to remember, because at the moment we're going down a very bad path.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned China. Hang on, Betty. Hang on. I'm going to come to you. Betty, hang on. I want to read a quote from the Chinese embassy in Washington today, which posted on X: if war is what the US wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any other type of war, we're ready to fight till the end. So there, a lot of saber rattling coming from China there in relation to, as Mason just pointed out. In that context, does that make you...
China, sit your ass down and focus on your collapsing housing market, okay? Sit your ass down. Y'all don't want these problems, okay? Y'all know y'all don't want these problems.
Rethink slightly the way that Trump should be playing this?
Nope. No, I think everybody's just trying to play hardball at this point.
First of all, your problem is not with Trump. It's with the American people. 78% of Americans want this war negotiated and peace right now. So that your problem is that Donald Trump is reflecting the will of the people, which I grant you is very strange for an American president. You know, certainly wasn't at the top of Joe Biden's agenda, but it is at the top of Donald Trump's agenda. When 78% of my fellow Americans want something, they should freaking get it. And that is what we're seeing right now, is the victory of democracy. You vote for a person, he does what you ask. Pierce, to your question about Xi Jinping, it's a great question. You know, another autocrat dictator who somehow the Democrats have no problem making common cause with and capitulating to all the time. Guess who would be a really good ally in a...
Ain't that crazy though? I mean, didn't Gavin Newsom clean up the whole city for this man? Clean up the whole city of, I think, Oakland or LA for a Chinese communist. A person who don't even believe in our Constitution, who damn near spit on the thing if he had the chance. And we were cleaning cities up for this man? Shoot. We gave over our industry to this man. We done gave over manufacturing to these people, but they don't share none of our values. Bro, what? But okay, no.
Fight against China, Russia. That used to be the Democrats' position. That was Barack Obama's position in 2000.
But I do want to sneak peek something that we're going to get into, I believe, tomorrow. We'll have to get into it tomorrow, but I am going to go ahead and play a good 15 minutes of it. Then we're going to go ahead and close out for the night. But y'all going to love this one. Man, shout out InfoWars. They cooked up. They cooked up with this one.
Of the abuse. There's no doubt about that.
All right. So, again, we could spend 10 hours on what's known about the Catholic Church and not even scratch the surface on this. And it's the same networks, the same system. We're talking about tens of thousands of children. And notice that just got swept under the rug as well. So now let's move into the international systems. But just responding to the Catholic Church, known fact. What do you say to that?
I mean, I'm actually not very well informed about the Catholic Church situation. I only have so much time to research, and I purposely have focused more on the more modern examples.
Alex Jones and Ian Carroll, though? Come on. You can't say I ain't snapping with this one. Come on. All right, let's get right to it.
Because it's more pertinent to our current history. So I don't really actually know a whole lot about the Catholic Church's long history of sex trafficking. I do know a bit about a few of the scandals, and particularly about some of their mafia connections in my research about organized crime. But I don't want to speak about things that I haven't.
Absolutely. Well, it's massive. Hundreds of thousands of children on record and still going on. Look at this. Germany, 30,000 potential suspects in pedophile ring. And this is DW.com. It's New Yorker magazine. This came out a long time ago. West Germany from the 60s to the 90s placed tens of thousands of foster children, mainly taken from Christian families, as a government experiment run by their CPS to create a new society without families based on pedophilia. The German experiment that placed foster children with pedophiles. This is a confirmed government operation, and then they would farm them out to, in the news is reported, giant rape sex rings by age.
Hey, yo, hold on. They really ran an experiment, or they're trying to create some type of pedophile family dynamic where poor kids are getting, oh, hell no. Nope. Kill the, I mean, unalive the scientists, whoever researching this, whoever trying to run a study, death sentence. This death sentence. That's all I gotta say.
7. Pretty incredible, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty dark world once you get into it.
Yeah.
Continuing.
I mean, they're trying to train for, bro. They're trying to train for pedo families. Like, what?
Here. People want the deep dive. Ukraine's shame, an epidemic of human trafficking, including sex slavery, organ harvesting, you name it. And a lot of that's been coming out.
I mean, what you mean? We all heard it. I mean, we all heard of that. I mean, I remember Ukraine were the people who found the doll. And the doll, I mean, you could, dark web, look it up. The doll. It's very gruesome thing. But all right, let's keep going.
Yeah, I've actually in some ways been intentionally avoiding the Ukraine story because
it's nasty. I ain't gonna lie.
Saying this guy's anti-Semitic, all the rest of this. Ladies and gentlemen.
What the hell? Oh, I just jumped that in front of me. Here we go.
And folks, what they do, the real thing is, that's just one level. They kill the kids.
Yeah, the kids that are the less valuable, these hundreds of thousands of migrants that we don't even know their names. Unfortunately, those are the ones that probably are winding up dead.
And adrenochrome is a metaphor. Yes, Hunter S. Thompson was given by a Satanist. Yes, that was real. Yes, they do that. Yes, they torture people and drink the blood. But adrenochrome is the old term in ancient time was called ambrosia, and that is a Black Sabbath event. And so you see the ancient carvings and medieval drawings of the baby and the women, the men around, and the blood going everywhere. That's really what they do.
And often the mainstream will try to utilize those more sort of like rare instances or those sort of easier to fringify kind of ideas and paint it as though the entire claim is that it's all about that. And it's not all about
it's levels, and it's like a bazaar. it's like a shopping mall of the levels and what you get and the different clubs.
And there are some people that are truly sick, like Peter Nygaard, that we should talk about in a moment.
That's his name, Nygaard. Peter Nygaard. Yeah, it's the white billionaire who likes African women. Yeah, he traffics African women, the son of a bitch. I mean, if you see him, I mean, you might see a favorite video vixen next to the man. I ain't gonna lie. Black video vixen. Yes, the man has extreme jungle fever. I mean, shout out. I mean, fuck him. But yes, Peter Nygaard. Look this guy up. He's a sick son of a bitch.
And then there's
mainly because he goes after black women. But, you know, that's just my personal grievance with him. Oh, yeah. Shout out Big Reddy. He said, hey, set for the closeout play the Wu-Tang. I posted in the general chat, if you don't mind. And Saline, what debate? He wants to debate if, if bad luck affects poor people or rich people more. I think that was it. If not, please, please still man your point. But let's keep going.
Other people that just want to have sex with a child, like a lot of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. And it's hard for us to know looking in from the...
Yes. Okay. He says, how being born in poverty limits your opportunity. Does anybody want to cook this man for me? Because I can't, bro. I just can't, bro. It's in my eyes, it's kind of too easy of a debate. It's like, really? Really? You'll get in on that one? I mean, all right, I guess. I feel like it's too easy of a debate, to be honest. I'm like, dog, most millionaires came from poverty, right? So that kind of destroys your entire argument. Like, bro, you don't even understand how it's debatable. How being poor, it limits your opportunities, but there are people who've achieved higher feats than people who are born rich. Like, people who are born poor who have achieved higher feats than people who are born rich. Like, bro, that's the problem. You're not really seeing you're not hearing what we're saying. Well, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I don't know if they want to get on it. Sure, yeah, you two can go at it. Me, I will sit in the background on this one.
The outside, based upon what's disclosed, necessarily exactly who is who, but some people we have very clear evidence of. I realize that intelligence agencies and organized crime are at the heart of so many power systems these days, and it led me obviously to the Epstein story. And the more you dig, the more obvious it becomes what's really going on. And there's this big controversy that really is kind of manufactured, because I was just discussing
guys. All right, you know what? That's it. Saline, you get this one look. How does it not limit opportunities? If you are poor, can you become rich? Yes. There you go. There you go. Debate over. Set wins. There you go. And it was a yawn debate. See, bro, I don't even know why you made me do this. I actually like you. But all right, let's keep it going. And this guy,
dark history, and it goes very deep. But today we're going to go through a couple of the most prominent cases that relate directly to our modern world.
Yeah, we've just set the table here in 20 minutes. Where should we start here? I mean, there's so much.
Crime and intelligence operations is that they were designed to be hidden. They were never designed to be exposed. And so there's no smoking gun usually. And the amount of evidence we have around Epstein is absolutely mind-blowing when you're talking about a secret organization. Normally you're on breadcrumbs, and here we're on the whole loaf of bread. And so the controversy feels quite manufactured, and I agree. We don't need to spend a lot of time on the controversy, because I think that my tone and demeanor on that interview speaks for itself.
Well, instead, the history speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
And everybody can go look into this for themselves. And this, though it's a deep dive compared to everybody else, is just kind of a guidebook of where we would recommend people start looking.
Exactly. And everyone should do their own research and get informed for yourself, because the info war is inside your phone, inside your mind, and they're trying to dissuade and persuade you on what to think. And so it's up to you to think for yourself.
Absolutely. But I think we should start with the Epstein era, because it is a major window into this, and a lot has come out here that hasn't come out in other areas. The other big whole loaf, though it's whole loaf in a loaf factory, is the British and
Absolutely.
Prince Andrew. And just, it's been mainstream news for 50 years in the UK that pedophiles run the country.
Yep.
Keir Starmer, the current prime minister, has been the main cover-up guy over that nationwide for 15 years as the head of the CPS there. I mean, this is sick.
Yep. I mean, Britain has a long history. The royal family of Britain is far from good, and that's no secret. And it makes sense that they would have a longer history of this, because Israel was only founded in the 50s, right? And America was founded older than that, but obviously there's a progression as we go from one to the other of these things. Everyone's learning from each other. They're all working together. And at this point, it's kind of just one big blob of organized crime, blackmail, and intelligence operations.
I mean, it took us this morning and now in the crew about 8 hours just to print all this up. And then it's like, wow, how do we present it? So let's just start right here. Epstein traffic victim says she had sex with billionaire Wexler, who was really controlling him. They then set up the Clinton Foundation for the Clintons. They were above all of it, and we'll show people all of that. Billionaire businessman Leslie Wexler refused to reveal full scope of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged multi-million-dollar theft. It was billions, reportedly. Epstein's lawyer claimed the alleged pedophile helped devise the Clinton Global Initiative. Well, that's not true. You can look it up. It's there. Former Israeli intel official claims Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, worked for Israel. I mean, we have Robert Maxwell buried at the Mount of Olives with military Mossad awards.
Yep. Despite being a British citizen. So, like, clearly he was double-crossing multiple nations.
And when we show you these articles, it has all the documents. I'll show you the FBI report. You go here, it's all there. And again, it goes back to J. Edgar Hoover before that, who was all about blackmail. All this is known. These are giant articles full of meat and potatoes.
Yep.
The murky life and death of Robert Maxwell got thrown off a boat in the Atlantic, and how it shaped his daughter, Ghislaine. The boat was called Ghislaine, right when this was coming out about him, is the staggeringly profitable business of scientific publishing bad for science. That snuck into there. Maxwell scandal and conspiracy. Now, again, former Bulgarian premier denies dealings with Robert Maxwell. It just goes on and on. This is how they were controlling people. Please continue.
I think that the average American citizen doesn't really understand blackmail because we don't deal with blackmail in our regular lives. But blackmail is not one shape and it's not one format. Blackmail can be anything that you don't want released. And once you've climbed to the halls of political power in a corrupt system like modern government, lots of people already come in with potential blackmail pieces in their past. Right. And if you don't have something in your past, then there's a lot of networks designed to create something to blackmail you about. And
all right, man. Hey, shout out my man Sal.
Hey,
doing,
what's
man?
up? What's up, Seth?
Hey, what's up, man?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem at all, brother. No problem at all. But all right, and if Big Wave Dave want to join in, you can, man. You can. But all right, my man. So can you go ahead and still, man, your point for me? You're saying that, and you know, I just really want you to explain because I feel like I'm just oversimplifying. I may be simplifying your point when I'm answering.
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it is because the argument isn't that people in poverty can't be successful or can't make $1 million. That's not the argument. That's not what I'm saying. The Steelman version of what I'm trying to say is that money obviously impacts the opportunities that one has to make it to $1 million, let's say. Just that it's easier. Just that it's easier, and that's
okay.
Pretty much.
No. Here's the thing, though. No, somebody getting $1 million can either destroy their life or enhance it. Can you agree to that?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, why does it always turn to this?
To what?
To you get into a chat and you're like, then you start agreeing on things. Beforehand, it was like, you know, no, if you're poor, you're just disadvantaged. Like you can be disadvantaged all day long. Dude, I was homeless for like a year and through the winter living in a car that I couldn't drive because I had no registration because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's people who have had millions of dollars and I mean, I don't know them, but I've heard and read articles about people who, went from millions to, being homeless.
Yeah, people that win the lottery.
Poverty, then we have to say personal choices. Now, if you want to say poverty can, cause bad choices, which cause bad outcomes, then you got it. But you can't say that. Oh, you're in poverty. Well, that means you're just pretty much screwed. It's like that means you're less likely to make $1 million. No.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
No,
that's not what it is at all.
You are less likely.
It's your personal decisions, not where you come from. And my point with millionaires, most millionaires coming from poverty, that kind of fits the point. That exactly fits the point.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not arguing that it's not possible. Like those people that make it like that, could just be exceptional people, they, and not only may they just have it, innately, but they may also just strike, luck by knowing the right people, being, in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna tell you this like this,
and
bro. There's
luck has a
of
lot to
people
do with
I
it as
know.
well.
There's a lot of people that lifted themselves out of poverty by just getting a simple job, living below their means, stacking their money and investing, and they were in poverty. And there's a lot of people who done it, bro. It's just your choices, and everybody can make the same damn choices as that person, but a lot of people just don't do that. You gotta understand that people are prone to make bad choices. People are prone to make more bad choices in their life than they do good choices.
Hey, Set.
Yeah,
I thought you were getting involved in this.
good point. You're right. Let me step back.
Yeah, just real quick, to respond to Set real quick about how it, we were talking yesterday about how something as simple as, being in a neighborhood that experiences drive-bys. Now, I don't know if there's another term. I mean, shootings, I guess, is the other term. Yeah, gun violence. Yeah. That's just how I know, the term to describe, what it is I'm talking about. But just something as simple as, walking outside and walking down the street can lead to, theft, or, somebody jumping you, or somebody, shooting, just a drive-by, catching a stray,
Bro.
So something as simple as that
See,
automatically
that's what I'm saying. Hold on, I'm gonna have to push back on you because, like I said,
affects.
if you know,
and school shootings, school shootings
bro,
is not. Please don't mention school
anything,
shootings.
because you're talking about like poverty, right? You're talking about places in poverty, and that's it's personal choices what put these people in this position. If you're getting pulled up on a drive-by, these are not innocent people that get pulled up on a drive-by. These are gang members. These are people who done took other people's lives and they're getting their just dessert. Or these are people who sell drugs and are getting robbed. Like, these are people's personal choices coming back to get them. It all comes back to personal choices. Now, if you want to say that in poverty, people make bad choices, you got me. I'll give you that. But to sit there and say that they lack opportunity, no. The opportunities you have are in the choices that you make. It's not where you come from.
Hey, Set, I'm sorry, but you got to stop saying poverty. It's poverty.
Poverty. Well, I got you. Thank you. Poverty. Thank you.
Sorry, brother.
I appreciate you, man.
All right. So, Sal. So, I left home when I was 17. Ended up making my own way. I worked in auto body. I did everything I had to do to make my own way because I didn't want anything from my family at that point in time, right?
Okay.
So I was homeless. I lived in my car during a winter, like had to turn on the car. Couldn't drive it though. I had to actually walk to a gas station, fill a gas can, and come back to fill my car because I couldn't legally drive it. And I knew I would get pulled over if I did because I had no tags. But I lived in my car, but I used my car as my home and filled it with gas. But I made my own fucking way, right? Now, I'm the youngest out of 4 siblings, and my father saw everything that I did in my life and realized, like, I'm not an idiot. Like, you got to do what you got to do to make your own way in life. And you got to stop the victim mentality. Like, oh, well, I was born into this poverty and I'm just this is the route that I have to go. No, you never have to go that route. It's a personal choice. Like Seth said, you have to realize, like, it's not your surroundings. You need to make that choice to get past those surroundings. And to say that, oh, because I was born into this, I'm oppressed, or this is my problem, this is what happened to me, that's victim mentality. And if you keep that, you're always going to have that, and you're always going to have those fucking problems. If you can't move past that, you're never going to go further in life. And to teach people that, like, oh, well, this is what they have, this is their problem. No. Like, do you not understand that?
Like, you not understand you're feeding people like a doomsday scenario. Like, oh, I'm born in poverty, that means I'll never be rich. It's like you're kind of hitting people with that.
No, again, that's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's possible. It's not possible to, come from an experience like Dave is.
But do every person in poverty have the opportunity to go out there, work, and do what I said, stack their money up and build some type of wealth in America? In America, though,
you have that option, and you can make that happen if you work for it. If you just like giving these people this mentality and saying like, "Oh, well, you're fucked all from the fucking beginning," then they're gonna have that mentality. Don't give them the victim mentality. Let people know, like, okay, you can do whatever you want to do, and you can get after it, and you can do it. Just to tell them, like, oh, okay, well, you're born in poverty, and this is what happens. Like, that's just you're stating statistics based on the fact of what happens. But the problem is, there's nobody telling these people like that are these statistics that they can get past that. You got what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but the point I'm making again is that something as simple as say a flat tire, driving and you hit a pothole, it just sets somebody so much further back who is already in poverty than somebody born.
Doesn't matter, bro. Look, come on, that's still victim mentality. Stop.
No, I'm just saying, like, somebody who has money or who's born in wealth will have the ability to recover from that quicker.
You have so much victim mentality in your head. It's atrocious.
And what I'm saying, I don't think it's even that.
No, it is that.
It's not even all that controversial. It's literally just the facts. It's literally just reality. I don't think I'm saying anything really that incredible.
Okay, so the person gets a flat tire for hitting a pothole, and because they're poorer, they get set so far back that they can't make it forward. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I said at all. I just said that
that's exactly what you said.
I don't think you're hearing what you're saying.
I didn't say that they are completely out of the picture at making it, at $1 million, but it just it sets somebody it sets them back and puts them in a more difficult position than somebody who's born into wealth.
So who cares about people born into wealth? Why do you care about that? That's my question.
No, Dave, hold on.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna attack this differently. I'm gonna have to attack that a little bit differently. So even if you're poor, when you buy a car, it usually comes with like a spare tire if you're responsible, right? If you make the right decision while buying your car. If you made the wrong decision buying a car without a spare tire, even if you're poor, that's still a personal decision that's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. There are poor people who drive around with cars that got a spare in the back. I mean, there are poor people.
And I've driven around with spares on my car.
Bro, I know poor people who got AAA memberships and they can barely afford groceries, but they got that AAA membership.
You're focusing too much on the tire factor or whatever. The situation. It could be something like the transmission of the car. It could be something like the motor of the car, something like the
you can go on and on about this, but
tank,
you're making excuses. You're making excuses. Stop making excuses. There's no excuse.
You'll have
like, look, you own a car, there's maintenance you have to do to it. There's things that are going to break. There's things you have to replace. That's the responsibility of owning a car at the end of the day.
And if you don't prepare for that, that's your personal choice.
And if you're in wealth, like I said, you get to recover from that easier. And that's the only point I'm making. Now, when Dave mentioned his tags were expired while driving.
Hold on. The point I just want to make sure I got your point clear, right? The point you're making is that, all right, so because a rich person's like, transmission goes out, right? And it's a more expensive job. It's something that they can easily skate by, right?
Easier. Yeah.
Easier. All right. Now, does that hold that poor person back from achieving anything, like having less opportunity? Now, he lost out on a car, but does that mean he still can't go to work? He still can't catch a bus, ride a bike? It's like, bro, I get what you're saying that, rich people kind of have life on easy mode, but it doesn't mean that poor people have a lack of opportunity.
Of course it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Because that person just lost the opportunity to commute to work in a more efficient way.
You just ignored what Seth said completely.
Wow.
But good job.
No, he has to take the bus, so it's less efficient than
he's still getting to work. He's still making his money. But you're not hearing what I'm saying, though. I get your point on, you're okay, sure. you're right on. It's gonna affect them differently, like financially or the bounce back. But to say that the opportunity is missing, that his opportunity is gone, that's a lie. They both have the opportunity to get their car fixed, even if one's gonna take longer than the other.
But it definitely makes it more difficult for one.
Doesn't matter. That's not the point.
Well,
You're ignoring the point.
Not a lack of difficulty, not the difficulty settings.
I mean, having
the lack of opportunity, not the difficulty settings of life.
So you don't think somebody born into wealth, middle class, upper class, has a more diverse opportunities to make it in life. They get to have multiple sports, multiple extracurricular activities,
the same options
with with higher quality instructors. With the likelihood of having a quality instructor being hired.
It's still victim mentality. Stop.
Low poverty areas, you know that.
Even teachers, even the teachers in the schools.
Areas. So
if you go to a private school, the teachers are better paid, and so you automatically just have a better instructor to guide you towards success.
So just because you're bro, so can
I'm just saying that there's more opportunities for people in middle class and upper class than those born in poverty.
You're wrong, because a person in
How am I wrong?
poor school, bro, a person in a poor high school can still make it to an Ivy League college. That's why.
I know it's possible,
they still have
but
the same opportunity.
Those people are exceptions.
In the realm of scholars.
No, they're not exceptions. They just work harder and don't accept the victim mentality.
They're exceptional people.
A C student who's rich is gonna get C student results, even if they're rich.
You're ignoring all the people that do try hard and try and commute to school or work on the bus, who are making an effort and just end up not making it. It ends up affecting their health negatively, and they through unlucky circumstances are out of the picture. So I mean, yeah, there's multiple variables, multiple factors that that
you're still
go
wrong, bro.
into limiting opportunities for people in poverty.
Yo, Sal, I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't finish high school. I didn't go to college, but I make $100 an hour doing what I do.
And like I said, I'm not saying it's not possible.
But if you don't have the drive to do it and you just take that victim mentality,
you may
you're
have
gonna
just
fail.
gotten lucky.
I got lucky. Okay,
You
yeah.
may have.
It had nothing to do.
You got lucky
nothing to
that
do
you
with
didn't get
the
hit
effort I
with
put in.
cancer.
Fuck out of here, bro.
You got lucky that you didn't get pulled over by the cops when your tags were expired. Because police.
Oh, no, I
officers
did, and I went to jail.
Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, so you got unlucky, and that
But I didn't let that I didn't let that hinder what I had to do. Like, you're an idiot.
You could have had it worse. The expiration, the tags being expired, you could have had that fixed had you been born into wealth. And like I said, I'm not saying it's not possible to get out of poverty, but you wouldn't be facing the same
how am I facing that now, though?
How are you?
How am I facing that now? I didn't let that bother me. I moved on. I went further. I did what I had to do because I didn't have a fucking victim mentality. You keep preaching this victim mentality, and it's fucking terrible. You need to stop. And if you think that way, you need to stop doing it yourself.
I'm literally just making observations. I'm literally playing the role of the ref.
No. Like I'm gonna have to call you out on that one, bro. You only know so much about what really goes down in these low income areas. And
no, dude, I came from poverty.
Are you sure? Because you don't talk like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you, G. The way you're talking, there's no way.
No, he might be.
I went to.
He might be because he's playing the victim mentality.
All right. So what? You think you have a lack of opportunity?
That's not let's not get into like my personal like anecdotes like Davis. All I'm saying is that there's people who do work really hard and are in that, 95% of people who just don't make it, who are struck with, an unfortunate event that puts them out of the picture, whether it's health, whether it's
Okay, Sal, you're not one of those people though, right?
No, I don't consider myself one of those people. No.
Okay, then why do you feel the need to be a savior for people that you aren't?
I mean, I'm just, like I said, playing the role of the ref. I'm just pointing stuff out.
You're pointing nonsense out. That's what you're doing.
No, it's. I mean, I've seen it too. I've seen people, in my line of work, just break their leg, break their arm, and they're just because like they have to work such a grueling,
and that's
job.
and look, bro, I hear you, and I kind of know where you're coming from, but bro, like I said, these all come down to personal choices.
Exactly.
That's what you really got to understand. Just personal choices. Like you want to keep adding income on this, and I promise you, it doesn't matter. It does not
no
matter.
difference.
It makes it easier. Is what I'm saying. That you have obviously
honestly, bro. I'll be
your
real with
opportunities.
you. No. There's some. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Chill out on this one. There are actually, I would beg to differ. There are wealthy kids who would actually disagree with you, who would say, bro, it's actually even easier to fuck up the money when you already got it. You don't have no respect for it. So I mean,
that's
bro,
difficult.
There's been
Oh
rich
no,
people who
I can
fucked up their whole
guarantee
family's
that.
wealth. So you're making this rich thing sound like, oh, it's a get out of hard times free card, but it's not. If anything, it could bring more hard times.
When you don't respect what you have to do, and again, this goes back to the victim mentality. When you don't respect the things you have to do to get the money that you get to where you want to be, that's victim mentality. And when you disrespect that shit, you can put yourself far worse by far. You have those people that win the fucking lottery and get like, however many millions of dollars. And then they end up on the streets, 5-6 years from then. If you don't respect the money that you get and you can't make it yourself, that's victim mentality and you're not doing things the right way. And if you take it that far, like, oh, well, I got all this money, I'll just fucking blow it on whatever. Look, I had a chance when my father died to buy a $100,000 sports car, right?
Okay.
Because he left me shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, why am I going to spend $100,000 on a fucking sports car that I can never drive? And if I do, I'll just devalue it. You have to be smart about what the fuck you do and don't be fucking stupid.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But so whenever you say that, you're almost ignoring the fact that, there are just people who are different, who have a higher IQ, who are just exceptional people.
Personal choices. That's personal choices. That still goes back to your personal choices.
All you have to do is put in the hard work.
But somebody who's born in poverty, they have less opportunities to make mistakes. Like, this is what I mean. Like, for example, they can't
hold on now. There's people in the hood who went to jail, the whole felon came out of jail for felony and became millionaires. So I hear what you're saying, but everybody goes through their life and they're gonna have their ups and their downs, but it's their personal choices that put them in their downs, and it's gonna be their personal choices that's gonna bring them to their highest. So every time you want to bring up a situation of somebody in poverty where they're disadvantaged, I can give you a situation where, yeah, I know somebody went through that. Actually, you can damn near look up a story on the internet of somebody who went to jail, straight felony, came out multimillionaire. I mean, trust me, the music industry is riddled with them somehow.
Yeah, but again, those are just outliers. They are possibly just exceptional people. Or just
no, people make good decisions.
Lucky.
I wouldn't say lucky.
All right.
I say they make good decisions. That's it.
I'm sorry. There's no getting through to Sal here.
I'm not saying
no, bro.
You don't have control.
Are honestly saying that everybody has no control over their own lives. That's what you exactly just said. So they have no control over their own lives. Anybody can do anything. Like I said, I was homeless for a year. I had to go live in people's basements and shit like that. Even after I was homeless for the year, I got a home, had to live in people's basements, but I made my fucking way. And by the time my father died, he realized, like, oh, look, he's a hard worker. He did what he had to do, and he gave me everything, even though it wasn't a lot. Still gave me everything, but I still do what I have to do every fucking day to make sure that me and mine are taken care of. You got what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's people who don't have a father to leave them anything behind. You know,
It doesn't matter. I still would have made my own way.
I mean, that kind of knowing that you have that emergency or that, like, you know,
no, I didn't know
backup.
that because I left home when I was 17. You fucking idiot! Come on, are you not listening to what the fuck we are saying? Like, you're getting on my fucking nerves at this point. Yo, Set, I'm done with this conversation.
How am I supposed to know that? How am I supposed to know that, you know, you automatically just cut off all communication from your dad? I mean, you could have just, you know, at 17 had something better. You know, you were pursuing something.
Now, all right, guys. I'm
I
gonna go
wasn't
ahead and
supposed
get
to
into
read that much into it.
I'm gonna go ahead and get into this one, and I'm gonna be real with you, Sal. Somebody actually agrees with you. I ain't even gonna lie. And guessed it, one of our supporters. The evidence is pretty clear. Being poor creates problems for you. Being poor is bad. Poor parents are likely to be more stressed. Divorce rates are higher. Abuse rates are higher, etc., etc. Now, this is more of a philosophical answer. I'm gonna be real. It's more philosophical.
My parents divorced when I was 7.
Look, I'm be like, if you expect to be led into this world without no suffering, without no trials and tribulations, I honestly think you're tripping, and you gotta have a spoiled mentality towards life. If you think that you're supposed to go through life and not go through anything, not have to overcome anything, you're tripping. You don't even really know why you're here, in my opinion. And like I said, in my opinion. So guess, dude, when people are born poor, born these bad families and all this good stuff, I just see that as, yo, you got the biggest challenge in the world. You're going to feel 10 times better than the next man for getting it because you came out of a deeper pit.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, my philosophical view on it.
No, that's exactly correct. If you feel that badly and your life is that hard, when you come out of it, you are going to be 10 times better.
You know, instead of you were rich and you just got that check from mom or dad, and you're like, who cares? You don't really care about money. You don't really care about the new car and all that good stuff. But a person
You don't care about anything that's handed to you unless you get it yourself.
Somebody who gets handed money, let's say, for example, like Trump, who has, you know, millions of dollars to work with to be able to invest and have businesses fail, and then, like, only 1 or 2 out of 10 are successful, and
Sal?
Yeah, like, all I'm saying is that these people have more opportunities to try and fail. Whereas if somebody tries to invest with the little money they have, they only have 1 opportunity to invest in a successful business.
Now, that's not really about income or, you know, your class. That has something to do with not the fact that 90% of businesses fail. That's just business. That's just the market. That's the free market. 90% of businesses fail. And bro, that's a lot of businessmen. A lot of businessmen will not tell you about the many businesses that they started before one popped off and finally made it. There's a lot of failed businesses that started before that one popped off. A lot of people don't tell y'all that. Like I said, y'all kind of look at rich people from the Instagram view. You see the pictures, the cars, and all that. You just think it was like that ever since. When really there was a lot of grinding going on. There's a lot of failures and all that. And to succeed, bro, there were definitely failures. Every time you see somebody out there, nice watch, nice car, best believe they didn't hit some failures where they damn near either lost it or damn near lost it all.
But they worked for it.
That may be true, but it doesn't deny the fact that people who, like, again, have wealth can take those opportunities. They can take more shots. And
why are you worried about somebody else? Worry about yourself. That's all there is.
And I'm just pointing out the difference again.
It doesn't matter.
But
this is the point we have to let him cook on it.
As Seth was saying, that it might just be a business thing. You know, it might just be that 95% of businesses fail or whatever. But somebody given money like Trump can take more opportunities, can take more chances, and have it be less costly.
Worried about
And
somebody
yeah,
else's
it might just be
pocketbook.
a business thing, but it the wealth
Now, hold
allows you
on,
to take
though.
more
Now, let's be
chances.
fair. Let's be fair. Well, you say we was naming outlier. Trump is an outlier. That's an outlier.
What do you mean?
Like,
In what way?
because think about it like this, bro. Your average millionaire, or you can say you're like, let's say you're 1%er, which is I believe is now like maybe like 600K a year. Can't do that. Like, bro, the average 1%er probably got to wait maybe the next 3-4 years, probably to start the next business, or they got to start, or they got to downscale or something. Trump is a special case. Trump comes from money. So he's an outlier. And well, yeah, comes from money. And that's definitely an outlier right there. You can't really use Trump as an example because that's not your common multimillionaire, because one, he's a billionaire. He's not your common rich person. Like, he's the elite of rich people.
I don't think he's that much of an outlier as you think, honestly. I think we just hear about him a lot, and everybody knows his story or whatever. But I think I think the principle is still true that people born in the middle upper class just have more can't take more chances.
I don't think so. I feel like you got to put yourself in that position, and you also got to be smart with your business tactics. Like I said, these are still all coming down to personal choices, because you can bounce back from business loss if you make the right choices. If you got your business credit right, personal credit right, you can still make some saves here. So like I said, these are all personal choices that if a person set themselves right, they can have just as much chances as somebody who started off with $1 million. These are all personal choices.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't play in.
Bro, it
into the
plays
equation.
in every time. That's the problem. It's like, bro, if everybody in the poverty made good choices, then there would be no poverty. That's just what it is. Like, bro, you want to know the key to fix poverty? Everybody start making better choices, like lifestyle choices, financial choices, family choices. Just start making good choices.
And that comes from your upbringing.
Yep. Which lays into Guest's points about, poor parents.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't matter.
Hang on.
You can be poor and be from a good upbringing. If both your parents are telling you, like, look, like, we're poor, you don't have to be poor. You can do anything you want. Get after it. It all starts. I think we had this conversation before. It all goes back to fucking parenting. If you parent your fucking children a bad way and don't let them know, like, look, don't have that victim mentality. Don't think that, like, oh, everybody's oppressing you and you're gonna grow up this way because we're this way. No, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, even on that bad parenting thing, people born in poverty who try and make things work. They might just be they're more likely to be hit by a violent act, something that's gonna
Victim mentality, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like, it happens, and honestly,
but
like,
it doesn't matter.
that
It's
I
still
actually
victim
know.
mentality. Don't have that mentality. Don't think about it, and just
But-
move forward with your own life and do the things you need to do to get what you want in life. That's all there is to it. It's not that hard.
You're ignoring the problems that can come with getting multiple concussions, or with getting in the way of some other violent act. But people who are born in poverty just have to pretty much make even better decisions than those born into wealth. Their margin of error is much less than somebody born into wealth, and that's pretty much the main point I'm making.
I think
that's not a good mentality to have if you want to chase wealth, because to chase wealth, you need to take risk.
Sorry, I got to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm done because this dude keeps doing mental gymnastics at this point. Like somebody else said, I'm over it at this point. I'll talk to you guys
I'm
later.
just
All right.
playing the role of the ref. All right, man. Have a good night, Dave.
But all right, Sal. Shoot, though. Wait, what was that last point you made, though?
The margin of error is is less for those born in poverty. I think that's how margin of error works. But I mean, yeah, there's definitely a difference in the margin of error that you have being born in poverty versus being born into wealth, and that's pretty much all I'm saying.
I would say there's still the same risks involved with getting wealth. Like there's the same risk that you're going to lose all your money and all that good stuff. And to gain wealth, you have to take risks. So if you're pretty much telling that I'm gonna be real with you, and this is why I would say your thinking is, I would say this, it's accurate, but it's faulty at the same time. Because what
you said
saying,
it right.
Yeah.
The risk, you can take more risks is basically what I'm saying. You can take more risks being born into wealth.
But if you have this
than
mindset and you're in
you
poverty,
can, and
you take those risks to change your situation. If this is your mindset, this is where it's a faulty mindset.
no. It's just like I said, something I'm observing, something I'm pointing out. You know, I don't think it's something that people
should practice.
You know, right. Yeah. You know, I do think that you need to, you know, take as much control of your destiny as possible. But I'm just making it. I'm just trying to bring attention to the factors that that you can't. I'm basically saying that you know, unfortunate events affect people in poverty more than those in and it could be something as simple as, like I said, the transmission stuff, or you know, the car issues, or you know, something as simple as health, being shot, you know, or being you can be shot anywhere. I know, but it's more
that's
likely
right there
to be shot in the hood than or stabbed. You know, I don't think that's really controversial.
Like here's the thing though, and I would say this though, because you could even say that being born in the upper middle class or not rich, or I mean in a richer class, could take away opportunity from you. If you really think about it. You don't think that being rich could take away the opportunity from you?
It could take you away from the opportunity of getting like some kind of scholarship, you know, that's meant only for people in poverty, you know.
Don't you think that might take away the value of money from some of these people, or the value of, I don't know, the hustle? If you know they're getting the money the way you think they're getting it, they're just getting the handout, you know, from the rich families. Like, don't you think they're missing out on certain key lessons in life?
I mean,
because
I suppose, but not. It's not something that they should like. It's probably something that they can wait to experience, or not something that they can wait to experience. It's something that you know, if they experience it or not, it isn't really that important. It could be, you know, it's just something that, you know,
bro, there's lessons that you can miss as a poor person. I mean, as a rich person, there could be lessons you miss growing up in the upper class. I think you guys know that. You like, bro, you saying that, you know, you come from that background of the lower income. I'm pretty sure you've been around people who are born in a higher income. You kind of see how they kind of missed a couple of things like street smarts or social skills and all that good stuff that comes low key with poverty. You're a lot closer with your community in poverty most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, you have to make ends meet, or you have to find ways around, you know, keeping warm in the winter, or you know, cold in the summer.
That, like you're like, for sure, I say in some cases you would see poor people being less selfish than rich people. Now, I do have the belief that rich people are more giving than poor people, but in this scenario, I would say that.
Yeah. I mean,
so
it only makes sense
that they do have the opportunity to miss key things that would like honestly help their character, and also I would even help them make more money. But if they're just getting these handouts from mom and dad, where's the personal development? Couldn't that be a missing opportunity? Is the personal development?
Nah. I mean, if that goes down to parenting, I suppose. Yeah, just, you know, properly rewarding your child.
And yeah,
I mean,
no parents go through personal development, and all they have is coaches and therapists, and they do just fine. So the personal development can be outside of parenting. Like I say, it don't always have to be equated to your wealth. Like everybody goes through personal development, but there are certain things I see that a more wealthy person would miss through their personal development. I mean, like I said, if you're already getting money as like a teenager because your parents got it, I mean, you're less likely to do a lot of personal development. You're less likely to improve yourself because you already got that backing. So there are opportunities you can miss.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
business as well. There's opportunities you can also miss in business as well.
yeah, I mean, I guess the best way to sort of come to an understanding is what you said earlier about how people born into wealth have life on easier mode than those born in poverty, and that's like in that way we agree.
And it all decide who you compare it to. Because I'm be real with you. Okay, all right. Let's say this. Let's say you got your poor kid over here, and he got his brother, his mom, a happy little family, and then you got the rich boy Hunter Biden who lost his brother and his mom, and he's cracked out and all that good stuff. I mean, which life would you rather start? Like, which life would you rather have? Cracked out Hunter, or you want to be with the fam?
Yeah. I mean, those are again extreme cases. But I mean,
to be real with you,
I wouldn't
crash outs. There's a lot of rich girl crash outs.
I wouldn't be surprised if some people said Hunter Biden. But yeah, I mean,
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having me on set. I do have to call it a night here.
Oh yeah,
get some rest.
Same here, man. Same here.
Well, yeah, hey, nice talking to you. Good talking to you.
Hey, you too, man. Hey, bro, you can always come on, man. Appreciate the conversation.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Man, have a good problem. You too, man. You too. Hey, man. Shout out, man. That was a good conversation, my man. Hey, he a little bit hard-headed, but he stood strong on his point. I'll give him that one. I'll give him that. But all right, guys. All right. It's 5 a.m. It's time for me to call it a night because I cannot go off another 5 hours of sleep, man. Come on, y'all killing me. So you know what time it is.